All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. Another early stream today, about an hour and a half early. I've caught myself bumming around, lazing around today. I don't know what's happened, but motivation and things are not where I feel they should be. So I'm deciding to hit the stream up a little earlier. This is like block 2 for me, if you will. Where I've written on my calendar, I want to be looking at some Concrete Ducks stuff. But anyway, we've got stories, we've got things to talk about. The stream was pretty interesting yesterday. I left it feeling very good, but now I'm wondering if, I don't know, we could have done a little bit more than the bounties and some other stuff. So we shall see. Anyway, today, we are going to talk about the metas, and we're going to be playing some of those. I think I'm still on EU, but maybe I'll change back to NA. Yeah, I'm going to change back to NA. So yes, the stream just came up. Hello there, Adam Taru. So we'll do that, and we'll finish off the other metas on stream. So far, I've done the casino meta and I've done the Highlands meta, but we haven't done the next 3 maps. So we will do those, and we'll talk about probably a whole ton of random nonsense and all kinds of other stuff. So yeah. And yeah, hopefully this will be some format. You guys, as we know, you guys are like my therapy, right? So you can offer me some therapy, so once the stream is done, I can go be productive, because I feel like I'm lazing around. So I'll see you guys very, very soon. Go get your coffee. Also, congrats to anyone who's actually here right now. Bobbit the Hobbit, 694, XL 1042, Adam Ataru. I don't know how you guys found this stream, because it's early, and it's completely unannounced, and will remain completely unannounced today. So the fact that you're here, I mean, there's already 50 people who have already tuned in the first couple of seconds, and I don't know how you guys accomplished that fast. But hey, there you go. Anyway, so I'll see you guys very soon. The stream starting thing probably won't be very long either. I've already got my cup of coffee here. And yeah, we'll see what we got going on. Let's do it, guys. With the aid of magic, yeah, I'm sure. All right, see you guys soon. right, there we go. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Just decided, I don't know, did I do this a second ago? We're going to go NA today instead of EU. Because it was EU yesterday. I know that we might have more EU people again, but frankly, if that's what we went with, it would be every stream the same thing, right? So, or most streams would always come out with EU on top. So yeah, I'm going to change the face cam as well. I keep saying at the start of every stream, I'm going to change the face cam. I'm just going to change the face cam, and I never do. So let's go back. I'm going to pick at random a fan cam. At random, all right? So where's my cursor? It's on... it's the unicorn one by Mr. Orville. All right, hopefully this wasn't one of the ones that was crashing us. Here we go. This is a weird cam. I do like this cam, but it's a weird cam because it kind of doesn't work. Actually, I'm not going to do this one, Orville. On this one, I'm not going to do this. Did we have another one from Orville? I'll pick a different one from Orville, okay, so he doesn't feel let down. Here we go. We'll do this one. This is a classic. Look at that. Look how classy this is. There we go. Beauty. And I always like the people in chat who are like, "Oh my god, is that WP's hand in the reflection?" Or even a face, I think we've got in the reflection on that one. Here you see, in this cam, here you see the struggles I go to whenever I film something in the real world, right? And I have to make sure all reflective surfaces have been dulled out. There's actually this amazing... Where did I see this? Ages ago, I actually think it was like one of those... I don't want to use the word clickbaity, because you guys know my hardline stance on clickbaity, on the use of the term clickbait. But one of these, like, mass market appeal YouTube channel production things where they had a bunch of people not see themselves in the mirror for like 2 weeks or something. Like they could not see themselves, so they had no perspective of how they looked. They could wash and they could, you know, do X, Y, and Z as they would. They could attempt to maintain their sense of hygiene, but they couldn't see what they themselves looked like. So obviously that's a tricky thing to do, because anyone who has to leave the house has a chance of seeing themselves, you know, distorted perhaps, warped perhaps, but in like the reflection of a bus window or a car or something. So it's kind of a tricky thing, and obviously how worthwhile the experiment was in the end wasn't that good, but it was interesting. Anyway, yeah, so hi guys, this is the therapy session. Like I say, I'm not feeling productive. I actually wonder. I caught myself in the Super Q&A this week, right, saying, you know, looking back on when I did my behind the scenes series on Patreon, and you know, I did just sort of get possessed on that day and just work my ass off, and I had a lot of fun, and it wasn't hard, it wasn't fatiguing. I mean, physically it was, but it wasn't, you know, a big deal really. And I look at that, and then I look at days like this where I've like all of a sudden I've just got like no energy. I know the video I want to make. I want to make the video about the gods leaving the mists and what could be there in the mist. I know what I want to make, and I've got the stuff that I want to do. I could finish getting the griffin and do the griffin spotlight. There's lots I could do, but all of a sudden it's just bottomed down. It's gone. And I look at those 2 different days, and I wonder if oh god, I don't know how far I want to go with this, but I wonder whether there's something in that. Maybe I need to take some meds that will mellow me out across the board. Chill with a different game. That is not an option, Smitsky. So yeah, I was actually looking at some other stuff as well. I was reading a lot of Out of the Loop on Reddit, right? And it occurs to me that Out of the Loop is pretty much, in its nearly always, why are people mad at this? Why do people not like this? Why are people angry here? What's this controversy? Why is that? Mostly. And then there's also a really heavy slant on YouTubers. So I've talked about this openly before. How many of us will sit there and criticize our let me not make this purely gendered, right? But we'll criticize our mums for sitting there reading celebrity gossip rags, right? Or whoever we may know that has been like that in the past. And, you know, we'll rag on them without realizing that our generation's version of that, the internet generation's version of that, is 1000% what we see with YouTube. Like, it's just celebrity worship again. It's the exact same. It's really weird, and people are so interested. So anyway, I sort of went down this deep rabbit hole about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, just before this stream, literally reading all these controversies and things, and why people hate certain gaming reviewers, and they hate this and they hate that. And it's like, it seems like God, this sounds horrible. This almost tastes venomous on my tongue to say. But it's like anyone who attempts to, like, take hardline stances and has, like, that intellectual reviewy essay style approach to YouTube, they get major hate. It seems so much easier to just be funny on the website and tried to be funny because you don't invite so much stress into your life. Like, these people get really hammered, and I don't want to get into the game of calling out specific YouTubers and whether they're right or wrong about this, but all kinds of topics and things that people hate one another for, and these like slap fights. It's amazing to see. And Out of the Loop is just like all, and then I kind of look at myself and I'm like, I'm pretty happy with what I've got going on. You know, we're not the entire pie, but we're a nice slice of the pie in the Guild Wars community. I quite like it. I think we're cool. WP getting lit. Fine by me. Not playing Guild Wars 2 for a month is painful. WP saw the Jim Sterling one. All right, fine. We will name names. One of the ones I read today was about Jim Sterling, yes. And it's fascinating reading that thread. You know, I don't watch Jim Sterling. I don't understand the man. I've got no opinions. Literally, I'm a blank slate. All I know is general vague comments over the recent X number of years, and specifically there is an Out of the Loop thread at the moment talking about that man and all these things that people hate about him and all this kind of stuff. It's really interesting. And the other one was like yesterday we used a bad word on a stream, which I think is perfectly fine. And there's no problem if you're just quoting someone. We don't have to act like children. There's absolutely, you know, no cause for concern there. And then in my mind. But, you know, it's funny because one of the other threads I was reading today was there was this huge controversy about PewDiePie recently who called someone the effing N-word and all this stuff, and then, like, was getting boycotted, and a separate game developer tried to dissociate themselves, and then and pulled his streams of their game, and then people bombed that game's reviews, and then it gets into all this stuff about review bombing, and then there's all these things, people treating him as like a mega Hitler now, and then people slapping back with, no, but look at what he's done for charity, and this and that, and oh my god. And, you know, another thing as well has been on my mind specifically. Last night, I was in the middle of playing Divinity, right? And I looked back at my comments. Actually, I will put an open broadcast out right now, okay, to whoever this person is. I was playing Divinity. I briefly looked back at my YouTube comments on the Desolation video. And some absolute nutter was calling me like a small dick, like scared streamer, blah, blah, all this like terrible stuff. Me, directing it at me, saying that I stole a stack of Ectos from him and that I'm some scammer and everyone needs to know. I just want to be clear to this person. I don't know who you are. I don't know how you've been trying to contact me. All I can assume is we did have a problem as invites were coming in where some very few people were very unlucky, where they got an invite, but it was as we hit the threshold of needing to increase guild cap, so invites got dropped. And this has been discussed many times, and I would just say that I'm very happy you're not in the guild now because you are a disturbed individual. But if you're laying claim to I mean, a stack of Ectos is a lot. If you're saying that, all you have to do is contact me. You don't need to go on some like insane frothing mouthed rant that drags the comments down. It was mental. Yeah. Yes, turtle emoji, small d. Jesus, it was mental. It's truly mental. I get a bit of hate sometimes, which is weird because I just play an MMO and, you know, we're pretty chill here. But yeah, all this person needs to do is talk to me. I don't know who they are. The only other thing I can assume then is that the reason they don't talk to me is because they've been blocked in-game or banned here or there. Which wouldn't surprise me if they have such a foul, horrible mouth and disgusting attitude and abhorrent viewpoint. So for separate reasons, they might have been blocked and now they can't get in contact. That's the only thing. And so, again, I don't feel particularly bad there. They're obviously entitled to it, and I have no way of verifying that genuinely they've sent what they have. But, you know, I would happily pay them back. So, yeah. That guy was on the map last Friday when we did our bounty train in Spud. He ranted in map chat about you because there were a ton of Spuds there. Really? What is this? Can I get the name of this person's account so we can check? Look, this isn't relevant for everyone. I don't know why I'm airing this dirty laundry to you guys. It's because it's a therapy session, right? That's what it is. This is the therapy meta stream. Yeah, no, in all seriousness, no joking, no tongue-in-cheek, anything like that. Whatever this problem is, I would like to have it resolved. Even if I do find the person truly disgusting. I would rather have it fixed than have some, like, seething, demented individual spitting stuff. I'd rather just pay them off and get it done with, but I've got no idea who they are or how to contact them. I asked him if he whispered you and claimed there was no response. See, the thing is, I got no mails. Look, we don't have to... Guys, you can say... If you've got information on this, can you whisper me? We don't have to drag everyone down. We're about to play... We're just going to play the game and have some fun. Is this Potato Can fan-made reflections? It is. Sorry, Elizabeth92. It is fan-made. And there is a reflection there. We tried to help him, but obviously it didn't help, said Calamari. Yeah, I think on some level, you can't really help people like that. Oh, apparently people have taken screenshots and stuff. And it more like the shady meta stream. I know it's shady. I'm a scammer, guys. Oh, we start. Yeah, I don't want to start a witch hunt. I don't. You know, this is probably quite silly of me to talk about publicly. I'm probably overly. What's the word? I reveal too much, I guess. In some ways, I reveal very little, and in other ways, I reveal too much. Probably. Can't have people realizing that I'm stealing all their stuff. Oh dear. So what are we doing today? We're going to do some metas. Let's play the game. We're going to do it on EU because yesterday we did it on NA, and I hope people feel that that's fair. We're going to get a bit of game audio rolling. Hopefully that sounds good. And also, I kind of want to play an elite spec for this too. So I'm actually going to play. I'm going to play my Scourge. My Mirage. I think I'm going to play my Mirage. I think that'll be really fun. My sexy Arabian princess Mirage as well, with this beautiful veil in front of her face. Let's just get a good look at this. Royal, I know you're obsessed with Renegade Man, but I've already said I don't have it started yet, and I'm not going to play it just yet. But look at this. Look at this beauty. Oh, Fashion Wars 2. Every time I show you guys something in Fashion Wars 2 now, you can't help but accept how amazing it looks. And how my skills have improved. Right, guys? Right? So yeah, we're going to start. I mean, I did show the Augury Rock meta off, didn't I? So I guess we'll have to start in the Desolation. The only ones I've not shown on the stream, actually, is Vabi and the Desolation. So I guess we'll do those. I'm going to make a squad, and you guys can join on. All you have to do is type /squad join space LYS. Didn't you say EU? No, EU was yesterday, so NA is today. If I said that the wrong way around, then I apologize. But no, EU we did yesterday. I appreciate it's Twitch and people often miss stuff. But so it's NA today because EU was yesterday. The color scheme is on point. I'm glad you think that, Turtle Moji. I'm glad you think that. Welcome to the club. All right. Why is my thing unpinned? What? Twitch alerts? Where did that go? Did I delete it? What's wrong with me? Stream labels. You, turn on. Why have you been unpinned? I hate this music. I hate the music. I hate the music. I hate the music. Lion's Arch music. I hate you. 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 It's only getting worse. It's, oh my God, what an arbitrary thing to hate. But I actually think I hate that music right now. It's not going away, and every time I hear it, it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like twisting the knife in. Christ, it's muted and we're not unmuting for about half an hour because that music is not going to stop playing. Oh my God. It would be fine if it just turned off when you left Lion's Arch. Or if they just randomized the initial track that played. It's too epic, it's too orchestral, it's appropriate for the cutscene when we first go there on a new character, but not after that. Come on. Oh, I'm glad that people are agreeing with me here. There is no finer, sweeter pleasure in life than being agreed with in a comment section, let me just tell you. Glassy Ducky. Thanks very much, man. WP, you've made me go back to coffee. Oh, were you trying to kick coffee? See, here's the funny thing. I don't really like coffee that much. And for many years of my life, my formative years, I was very resistant to coffee and tea and stuff because I saw how desperately addicted. And it's okay culturally for this in the UK, but I loathe it. How desperately addicted my family, particularly like my mom and so on. How addicted to tea they are. They are. It's like, it's insane. It's truly insane, and it can't, you know, it can't be terrible for you, but it's. And so I for a long time I was like swearing off of it, but I drink a lot of coffee now, and I'm always like vaguely conscious of, am I addicted? Is this what coffee addiction is? But I don't know. I don't think I am. It's just nice to have something warm, you know? And I think it's quite nice as well to stop me from snacking too. About, I don't know, a year and a half ago, I started realizing, okay, you need to stop snacking. This is not good, not with this kind of lifestyle anymore. So I started cutting down just a bit, nothing drastic, but coffee's good for that as well. Instead of like, what's like a hot thing I would snack on? I don't know, what's like a good thing? I don't know, like getting a sausage roll out of the fridge, bunging it in the microwave for a second, and I know it's nasty and they go soggy and horrible, but you know, and then you'd eat that if you were a little bit, I don't know, bored or idle or whatever, and I'm prone to that. Instead, you know, just get a cup of coffee. It's good. Is WP thick? I wouldn't describe myself, well, I don't know, is thick? I could lose a few pounds, I could say that much, but not like anything insane. Or too bad. Exuma has a voice like yours, and he drinks tea. I mean, tea particularly I resist. Vehemently resist, or vehemently, I mean, you get what I mean. Tea, I will not be my mother. I can tell you that much. 6 cups of tea a day is wrong and stupid and weird, and no, I'm not going to be that. Shut up, let me eat my Doritos. Yeah, but I mean, those are scary when you actually look at like caloric contents and stuff, and you learn about a bit about. Not that I know a lot about nutrition, but I know a bit about nutrition, and I know shit like biscuits and like crisps and stuff. Like, it's insane. WP, how do you pronounce behemoth? 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 Behemoth. Behemoth. I like behemoth more than anything else. Potato cam's the wrong size. Thanks for pointing that out, man. We're just chilling for a second here, guys, because I started the stream very early. It's going to be a bit meandering, a bit slow. I hope people enjoy this. I should be more concerned about being boring, shouldn't I? No, well, yes, exercise is a component, but I actually think diet is far more important. I very much believe in that thing, abs are made in the kitchen rather than the gym. I do really believe in that. You can't... Working out doesn't really... I mean, again, not that I'm an expert, not that I have much experience in this. I'm not like I've never been like some ripped guy. I've had bouts of periods of time where I've been going to the gym and stuff, but I haven't recently. But I think, you know, there's that idea you can't build a castle on sinking sand and stuff. And if you have a bad diet, then, you know, like there's interesting stats. I think I read once something like if you eat a single slice of bread, it can, you know, obviously different bread has different nutritional value and stuff. But like the amount of flights of stairs you'd have to walk up to get rid of the energy you just gained from that is like insane. It's like ludicrous, you know. It's so much easier to put down the fork than to try and exercise that mouthful of X, Y, or Z off. Like, it's so much easier. Like, truly mind-bogglingly easier. Yeah, someone just said 80-20. I think, yeah, that doesn't seem too crazy to me. Again, you probably shouldn't be looking for nutrition information here. All right, now, NA, listen. Listen, NA. I know it's early in the day for you, but I'm doing this stream for you guys. All right, we're on the NA region. The squad is not full, and I'm mightily disappointed by that. Let's get it going. All right. In the meantime, I guess while we just chat about nonsense, let's do the augury meta in the meantime, yeah? Just before we go to the Desolation. The Desolation I've never seen finished, so I'm particularly interested in that one. So we'll go up here. Now, but a lot of people already know about this. I've talked about it in videos. I've already done a stream on it. But hey, loot. Let's just do it. What's this? Sorry. Workout helps when you don't change your eating habits in the long term. Yeah, I mean, I'm not denying that there's no help. I'm just saying that if you're realistic about these things, it's kind of like, what's a good equivalent example? I don't know. It's just like the path of least resistance to being good looking, to being healthy, to being blah, 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 is the diet route, not the exercise route. Like, both obviously help one another, and both in small amounts help in the long run, and so on and so on and so on. But practically speaking, it's important to identify. Diet is to lose weight, exercise is to look good naked. That's interesting. Look at this. I like how... do you know what I really do like about the age of the internet? Everyone's an expert. And I don't even mean that, like, rudely. And I'm sure that can be quite damaging. But I literally can talk about anything, right? And there'll be... someone will have a worthwhile comment. You know? And again, it's like what I was talking about. Oh, God, I'm going to all these horrible, dark things. But I told you guys on a recent stream when the Vegas... shootings and things happened. I talked a little bit about when I was, you know, reading about that and things that people were saying. And you know, one thing that was so fascinating to me was all these people, like, had all these amazing answers and responses and like expertise and understanding of things I just had none of myself, and the majority of people have none of. And you know, that's a beautiful thing to see happen. It's really cool to just see like all this information is so quickly ready. Like, for example, what's another topic I could randomly bring up here on this stream? Someone watching will have some... It might not get the whole way, but someone will have something worthwhile to say out there. And, you know, you can be scared of that and feel inadequate in the face of that, for sure. I understand that too. But it's generally a cool thing. The only thing about this Mirage playstyle is it's so spammy. I am an expert on people on the internet being an expert. Oh, damn, son. Someone give us a topic that I want to really push this to its limit. So what do you guys think of Beyblade Season 3? What do you guys think of that? Let's see if we've got a Beyblade expert out there. I don't know why Beyblade came to mind there. I'll tell you what, actually. I thought, what's a weird thing I don't know much about, but the internet knows a lot about? I was cheating mentally. And I thought anime. I don't know much about anime. I don't care much about anime, but people love anime. And so I thought, okay, what's an anime show? And the actual first show I thought of was Sailor Moon. And then I thought, oh, is that actually anime? I don't understand enough of that show. And then I also thought there's a significant enough chance there's an overlap between my audience and some of Peachy's audience that I thought, no, let's not do that. Let's pick another anime. And I went Beyblade. And that happened quite quick. Who loves anime, Kappa? Oh, Crystal Cracker, 500 out of 500. I actually thought I had that a while ago. I played some IRL Beyblade more than a decade ago, but I never watched much of it. I did play a little bit as well, and I watched a little bit, but I can't remember. Wasn't there a character called Kai? Was there a character called Kai? Or was it Tai? I don't know. So here she's going to portal away. They're doing that Heart of Thorns thing, except we can port with her, which is nice. Voila, we're back. Check donations every 5 minutes. Don't hate yourself ever again. I'm afraid that's a bit of an impossibility, my friend. But I'm watching. Well, I'm watching. You don't realize the only reason I do these streams is for donations. I'm watching constantly. And I just pretend to miss them. I pretend to miss them because, really, I just don't care. Unless it's like 50 quid more, you can go to hell. We can now cross-reference WP's age with Beyblade Season 1. I've never hidden from my age online. I've always been very clear mid-20s, and that puts me in the Beyblade height demographic, I would say. LMAO, Kai had the tiger, I think. There you go. Look, Kai. There is a Kai. Who's my favourite Teletubby? Well, I've told this story before. I openly admit that I was too old for Teletubbies. I genuinely was too old for Teletubbies. I knew at that time that I was too old for Teletubbies, and yet I watched it. Like, I was deeply ashamedly, I was watching it. I think I was maybe 2 or 3 years too old to be watching it. And I knew it was like a baby show, and it was like a kid's show, and it like had no substance. But I was strangely addicted to it. Like, in a very weird way that I can't quite put my finger on. Sorry, I'm playing one-handed. That's why you're not seeing me use the Mirage Collect much. So, yeah. My favorite, probably Poe, because Poe was red, and red was my favorite color at that time. Also, I think Poe has the most interesting stories in real life. Wasn't Poe like a felon or something in the end? The actor or actress that played Poe. Hey, Elsies. Elsie's had an interesting conversation with me just a second ago in the Patreon lounge, where he was talking about a potential game that I could play. I don't know, you kind of threw me through a loop there, though, dude, because I feel like I need to go gung-ho onto Elder Scrolls. And now you've got me thinking, oh, maybe I should play a different game, but I feel obligated to Elder Scrolls because I've been talking about it for so long. But is it right to do a series just because I feel obligated to do the series, even though it's not even began yet? Can I just face getting a bit of a criticism for stringing people along for so long? And then I just sort of stopped thinking about it. There's a Beyblade called ... Adults should watch more baby shows just to make them realize how useless their opinions and intellectual hobbies are. What? What do you mean? I don't know. What's the through line there? I don't get what you mean. I mean, some baby shows are really weird. They're just like this orgy, just this medley of colors and lights, and I can't really tell what they offer, you know, to the intellectual development of a child, but they're enjoyed. You didn't even know they had actual names. You always referred to them by color. Come on, man. They have names. You got Dipsy, who's green. You got Lala, who's yellow. You got Poe, who's red, and you got Tinky Winky, who is purple. And they live in the Teletubby Kingdom, I think it is. There's some other minor characters. There's a son that is a baby. Okay, so we could go into the lore implications of that, but I don't think that that's worthwhile right now. There's a house that sometimes would appear at the start of episodes, and they'd all go into it and they turn out all the lights. One of the best episodes of them all was when the whole place flooded. That was very exciting. I don't know if anyone remembers when the Teletubby land got flooded, but that was pretty cool. They like eating tubby custard. I remember that. Teletubby custard, which looks actually kind of gross, but there you go. They live in like these hobbit holes, essentially. Now, while my favorite episode was probably when the whole place flooded, all right, because that was damn cool, there was also a very rare episode that I remembered seeing like once, and I always wanted to see it again. And it was an episode where they go inside the house and they make tubby toast. So there is an episode of the Teletubbies where we find out they don't just eat tubby custard, but there's tubby toast as well. And in this episode, we get a lot more of the interiors. And so that was always very exciting and very fresh, because I think most of the episodes were sort of outside. I also think, wasn't there a thing about a Teletubby Hoover at some point, maybe? Or maybe I'm imagining that. So yeah, that's my take on the Teletubbies. The Teletubby video game for the Game Boy Color was also of particular interest. Okay, I'm now lying. I don't know if there was a game. Yeah, that's about the extent of my Teletubbies knowledge. Hey, have you ever thought about bringing back the Visualwood podcast? All the time, man. Like, people are constantly talking about it. I had an ironic comment 4 years ago in episode like 5. Matt and I, of that podcast, 4 years ago that was. I mean, that makes me feel a bit weird. Matt and I made a joke that we were both going to be like YouTube famous by 2018, and we were going to have a panel at PAX in 2018. And someone left a comment saying, "Hey, are you still going to do that panel?" Just this week, like a couple of hours ago or something, or in the last day, and I saw someone left that comment. And it makes me feel weird on a lot of levels looking at that. The arrogance of us, maybe, but I mean, we were saying it ironically, but I don't think Matt or I could deny that was something we would have really loved to have, been big in that sense. And, that's just not my trajectory anymore at all, and it just feels like another world, like a totally different world. It's really weird to look back at. It is. Because I could never imagine myself on a panel at PAX, a convention goer, one of these kind of like Polaris style emulating. It's just weird, isn't it? It's just strange. It's really strange. But yeah, we get all the time. It was great. And, in some ways I do lament the loss of not doing a pod. But, the pod, I think the pod had its run. Besides, Matt and I are just very different places at the moment too, so. Where is the Wooden Boots podcast starting? I doubt I'll ever do it. I don't know. I wonder if I should sort of get out there a bit more and sort of meet some new people and, have that kind of circle. But anyway. I'm too, what's the word? Christ. Introverted, that's it. I'm too introverted. I'm too afraid of interacting with people. What's this? Defector Protector? Convince all 10 restless exiles to leave the arid glade fields for the same trip and ensure all of them reach the Oasis camp to the north. Oh, shit. Damn, I thought we were just doing the meta, but we finished that as well. That's nice. When are we going to do the meta event? We're doing it right now. We're just letting the squad fill up a little bit more because it's very early and advertised stream, so we're just sort of chilling. Asura already a kind of Teletubbies after all? Are they now? Oh my god, I've had 3 donate. Oh, don't do that. You guys actually make me feel bad now. What? Uvendal, bet you he misses this. Post debated in chat if he does. No, I'm not predictable. I didn't miss that. That was only 6 minutes ago. That's not too bad. A miss by 6 minutes is not as bad as a miss by 20. Alright? It's not that bad. Dude, you coming across as a very wealthy man, Uvendal. You have a very frequent donations, dude. Thank you, and please, none of them are less appreciated than others. That is crazy. Joe Bum also says, have you had any contact with Matt about this X-Pack? Had seen he tried it and put Twitter and was wondering Yeah, I've talked to him about the X-Pack. Not too much about the X-Pack. I think we've mostly talked about other things. I'm currently avoiding Matt because I'm a terrible friend and because he's done these Japan vlogs, which I really want to watch. And I haven't watched any since the first episode because I've just not prioritized them and I'm a bad friend. And I can't stomach saying, hey, Matt, how's it going? Without having watched these things that he's put all of this effort into. So I'm in a weird place right now where I'm like, okay, watch the vlogs. And then I keep having these little things I'm tempted to say hi to Matt about and talk to Matt about, but I'm like, wait, no, don't say it yet. Watch the vlogs first. It's going to be, like, offensive if you haven't watched it yet. So, and he's also, and there's going to be another level to this as well, where he's going to think I'm only watching the vlogs because I'm obligated to, when that's not true. Neither would he think that I'm obligated to, nor do I feel obligated to. I actually want to watch the vlogs, but it's not going to come across as sincere. So I can't, so I'm in this weird place where I'm like, oh, I just need to watch these videos. So that's what I want to do. I want to watch the videos quickly. And then, yeah, maybe I'll ask him a bit more about POF. Yeah, we haven't spoken for, like, over a week at least. And it's because I haven't watched this goddamn thing, so I'm scared of going over and saying hi. And he'd be perfectly normal and nice about it, obviously. But it doesn't stop me feeling like a piece of crap, nonetheless. You guys should go watch them, though, because they are very good. Or the first episode, at least, was very good. And I know he really cares about those, and he's really put a lot of effort and several months of work into. And it's hard for him to get time to do the work as well now, because he's got so much other stuff going on. It's obviously his place to talk about, not mine. But, yeah. Clip this and tweet it at Matt. No, that would make it even worse. That would make it worse. Look, this is a private therapy session, this stream, guys. It's not for you to share online. This is not public. I don't know what you think Twitch is. It's not public domain. I was actually considering the other day, apparently I can disable people making clips. And after someone took me out of context the other day and posted a clip that just made me look like an I am very smart douchebag. And, you know, they're welcome to do it. But after that, I was wondering, maybe I should disable clips. But I don't know, decontextualizing stuff is what the internet's all about. I can't fight that. There's some futility in bitching about that or trying to take action against it. So maybe it's sort of irrelevant. Here we go, into Augury Rock. You should do a reunion now that Life is Strange 2 is a thing. Yeah, we've had many suggestions of that as well. I'll be honest, I don't see it happening, guys. I don't see it happening. At all. I'll honour the patient's privacy. Yeah, it's NA because we did EU yesterday. I don't know how many times I'll have to say that on this stream, but probably quite a few. So here, because I'm a Mirage, I can... No, don't you dare blind me. Okay, good. Because I'm a Mirage, I can summon my shears on this Guardian, right? And then when the Guardian is about to die, I can use my Axe 3 to move all of the duelists who have ramped a bit because of their Grandmaster trait. I'll be able to slap them over to Joso. So I'm gonna prepare for that now before it dies and they despawn. Okay. And even if the target is invulnerable, as he is there, it doesn't matter. The retarget still works. So this is really nice. And they can't do anything just yet, but as soon as his invuln drops, I've got all my ramping dudes ready. Actually, they're dying apparently, and I don't know why. So maybe this was a bit premature of me. There's a shield guardian there. They're okay so far. They're okay. You're going to see some hefty Mirage dops in a second here, guys. Here. Let's run a DPS meter and see what we got. All right. So, currently Tempest is pushing hardest. So we go to Joso. And let's see what we got going on here. As people slam him big time. I'm number 2. And we're only going to keep rising. We're only going to keep rising here. Which is different to a lot of these other builds. So we're now top DPS. Oh, and now it's turned off. Alright, I'm going to stay here, though. Well, actually, no. Maybe I should go retarget and hit a shield guardian. Why not? I don't think they'll die so fast that I can't retarget my stuff and then move immediately on. So let's jaunt over. Do this. Do these. And then get the hell out of dodge again. Because basically, if this thing dies before I can retarget back to Joso, all 3 of my guys despawn, and that sucks. So I need to get back to Joso, use the 3, retarget my dudes, not walk so far away from that they despawn, which they just did. Rip. Well, that sucks. Well, we're not going to do very well here because we've got no ramp and we've got no guys up, but that's fine, I suppose. This is a lot easier, though, than last I saw. So here I'll use the 2 once to spawn a clone, just to get the 3 up. There we go, we're down again. Yeah, we're not going to be able to compete now. It's a shame. God, the Shield Guardians are spawning so far away. Oh my god, I had another thing as well. Sorry, I completely forgot about the other donations. Hold on, let me read those in a second for you guys. So we'll summon, Signet, summon. Oh, I'm not going to make it. Maybe with some jaunts. Okay. Oh, and then they despawned again. See, I wish that the range was a bit better. Or maybe we could pull Joso over. Because you can't really walk far away from your phantasms before they disappear, and it's a real shame. It does suck. There we go. We'll get our clones rolling. This is just not really a good good fight, I think, with all the heavy invulning appearing and stuff. What if I just stay like so and don't move too far away from any angle? Obviously, the people that yo-yo back and forth quickly as well can keep their cleave at least quite high. There we go. Oh, the heal just in time. Now, obviously, if I had a focus as well, a torch as well, rather than a focus, I could do some other worthwhile stuff on this. And now he's invulning again. I'm just going to stand here. Screw it. So yeah, we had another donation. Joe Bum, have you had... Oh, wait, no, I already read that. So, okay to cancel, £6. Thank you so much, okay to cancel. You beat the other 2 by £1, and that is not lost to me. Thank you very much. Dr. Potatoes, here is your counselling fee from over the time I've been a lurker. My fee? What? But you just gave me money. Your soothing voice helps me through my bachelor's thesis writing, Omnon Berry Cake or Cookie. Also, Living World Season 4 hype. You're asking me if I prefer cakes or cookies, basically, because they're both Omnon berries, so they're both, like, you know, they're on par. I went down while reading that as well. Omnon berry, cake or cookie? I think I'm more of a cake man. When I was younger, I was definitely more of a cake man. But there is something to be said. I used to work in a bakery, right? Years ago now. I used to work in a bakery. And I've got to say, warm, just out of the oven cookies, if they're genuinely good cookies that have been baked just right, that is quite the experience. That really is quite the experience. Even quite recently, I was talking about, if you guys get Domino's in the UK, buying some Ben & Jerry's from them, or whatever ice cream, you can get Ben & Jerry's in from wherever, right? But then their cookies, Domino's cookies in the UK, so they're like still gooey and warm and like slightly crunchy and crispy on the outside, but once you bite into them, it just like oozes. That mixed with ice cream like Ben & Jerry's, like, that is like quite heavenly. So I don't know, I've become more of a cookie man later in life, I think. When I was younger, I used to mostly just have like Maryland cookies and stuff, you know, like super junk foody, you know, with the really shiny foil packets, double chocolate chip Maryland cookies. And but yeah, no, if you get like proper like baked cookies and they're still really soft because they're fresh, they haven't gone too hard, they're not essentially biscuits with chocolate chips in them, but they are cookies. Oof, that's pretty good, man. But I don't know, I'm a big fan of cake. There's lots of varieties of cake that I like. I like lemon drizzle cake. I like coffee and walnut cake. I like chocolate cake, obviously. I like Victoria sponge. I like carrot cake. Carrot cake is like godlike. Madeira is a bit bland and shit. I don't really get the hype behind Madeira. And I don't really like, what is it, angel cake as well. Or rainbow cake, you know, where you get the 3 types. I don't even really care much about that. There's a lot of good types of cakes as well. So I don't know. So if we're establishing baseline Omnon berry, right? Cookie or cake? I'll try the cookies, I guess, first. As a sign that I've developed as a human. And I'm no longer the cake fanatic I once was. I'm getting hungry. I like pancake. Oh, listen, a thing we used to do on the streets, I haven't done for ages because I haven't really set OBS up like a professional. But we used to put on a lot of foods. We used to Google foods and like look at kebabs and scones with clotted cream and jam and other stuff we used to do. Everyone would leave those streams feeling hungry, man. We haven't done any session like that for a while. That was good stuff. Yeah, carrot cake's great. I feel like there's 2 things out there that sound nasty, but they are genuinely delicious. Carrot cake is one, and the other, this isn't cake in the same sense that carrot cake is cake, but the other one is cheesecake, man. I like cheesecake. Cheesecake's good. There's lots of great varieties of cheesecake out there, dudes. And yeah, I like some cheesecake as well. But they're both things that sound nasty. I'm not saying that they're similar foods, because they're not. But they both sound nasty, and in that sense, they're similar foods, but they're actually delicious. Expectations for Halloween update Tuesday. I do have some expectations. I can't say that they're all legitimate speculations, because some of them are a bit more than speculations. But yeah, I hope we get some satisfying good stuff. I'm looking forward to Halloween suddenly coming out. It might save me from this weird funk I'm in right now. I honestly don't understand. I'm a bit worried about myself. I don't know. What do I want to be doing, sort of? I think it's because the expansion, you know, for months, it's been really easy for me. It's been like, it's all about Path of Fire. You're excited about Path of Fire. You want to share your excitement about Path of Fire. Done, done, done. Path of Fire comes out, and then, you know, I've had like a good 3 weeks of, here's what Path of Fire has, here's what it has, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm starting to think like long term, and I'm starting to like, I don't know, compare myself to the broader scene and, you know, wonder bigger questions about what I'm doing with my life. And those are never easy things to talk about or tackle. And I think maybe that's where I've been thrown through a loop today, and I need this therapy session with you all. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, bing. Love it. And then the next one. Bing. Love it. Oh, look, we can save. This Jin's low. Oh, it's because this is the Jin that runs away. Look, we can save the day here. CCs. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I thought Signet of the Ether was going to refresh my... There we go. The guy that's with me broke his bar. No, we finished the event. This is a good event. Someone will be very thankful we just did that. Nice. We even got a charged core. I'm happy with that, man. That's good. Some good stuff. Oh, this map's so beautiful. It's so gorgeous. And look at how the pools sort of just lead us through so naturally and comfortably. Love it. So yeah, anyway, that's cool that you've been listening to me during your bachelor's thesis, man. I'm pretty excited about that. That's very cool. And also, you say I have a soothing voice. That's nice to hear as well, because I've slowly developed this impression that I'm a bit shrill. So what is this? You do not need to be in the guild. He might have set myself as offline. No, I'm set as online at the moment. What's the problem? If you can't contact me and I'm set online, it could be because you are blocked. So who are you? What's going on? What have I missed? These are the most reasonable opinions WP has ever had. What, the ones about food? You feel for some banana green apple cake. Banana green apple. What is this? Banana cake's not bad as well. Can be a bit thick. Can be a bit sticky, a bit heavy. But if you get it right. Palawa Joko for God of War. I don't really follow that. God of War, it's not like some tangible thing. It's just a title, really, I would say anyway. That's the way I've come to believe in things like that. You should start a Wooden Peaches podcast or a Got Wood pod. You know, one thing I've always quite liked the idea of, I don't know to what end it would have though, is, you know, we've got a really thriving, strong, tight-knit Discord community now, I would definitely say. And we've got, you know, a similar presence in-game too. And, you know, I can't help but notice there's a similarity there between, you know, Peachy's got something similar going on. Bog's got something similar going on. I guess to an extent Teapot does as well, but I haven't looked so closely into that. It'd be kind of interesting to unite all of them on the scene for some purpose at some point, but I don't know what that would be. The closest I've ever got to thinking of that is like having a celebrity Tyrion D&D sesh. Yeah, which we've talked about many times before, and this is in no way me suggesting I've actually made any progress towards such an idea. But that would be interesting. You saw your video about the gods. Wait, what, Smitsky? Is that the question I already read earlier? Yeah, it is. Food vodcast with food being poured over Peachy, whereby WP tries to get it off of her. Dot. You stay classy, Twitch. You stay classy. What on earth is that? So I've kind of lost the gist with the portals here. I don't know why every stream I'm running instead of waypointing to these maps. In fact, we were going to do the meta, so I don't know what I'm doing. I think I just love running around these maps. I think that's what it is. I'm getting really weird and distracted. I think I just like running around Path of Fire. Let's go set ourselves up for the meta. Let's go to the meta now, shall we? I just got that waypoint, so it wasn't totally useless coming here. But so let's head on over, shall we? I really want to see the Vabi one, and I want to see the... I mean, I really think I should be on the skimmer, to be honest. I'm going for it. Oh, baby, that was so good. Yeah. All right, we need to get on the skimmer. No. Shit. How is this sulfur? This is some B, grade A bologna. We're done for here. Unless a ton of skimmers use their dismount res on me, I don't see us getting out of this one. Unless this is high enough. It is. Oh, come on, mount. There we go. Woo, that was close. It was very forgiving. I will say that. All right, let's go this way, and then north. Have you tried treasure hunting with a 50-person squad? Everyone pings it, and you run to the nearest one. With 50 people, it's almost guaranteed to be really close by when you do it this way. No, I've never done that. I saw Tekkit did a talented as ever, and I'm glad he's finally getting a bit more recognition. I saw Tekkit did a video guide, as he often does. That's kind of his domain, I would say. Talking about that, but I don't really know specifics. I only saw the title of the video. I haven't watched it, and I saw the Reddit thread he posted on it. As he quite often self-promotes on Reddit. Head on through here. Ugh, coffee's getting cold. It's not particularly nice right now. If you want to elaborate a little bit more on that, that might be nice to hear. Have I seen the Forbidden Vault in the Desolation yet? The Forbidden Vault. Is that where Joko's ladies are hanging out? In which case, yes, I have. If it's somewhere else, I don't know. Maybe I have, and I've just forgotten. Oh, it's actually in progress. Group event, weaken the Eastmoor defenses for a demolitionist assault. But it's... Oh, yeah, and it's in two minutes. Okay, so let's try it then. Let's try it. All right, so I don't really understand much of this meta. But I believe the idea is... what we need to do... Oh, God. Thank you. There's no big specific single target here for me to aim for, so I'm just trying to splash stuff out with the Mirage Cloak and Jaunts. So I believe what we want to do really is clear as many mobs from the 3 lanes as possible, yeah? Before the assault, which is very soon, in 1 minute 30, so I don't know whether we can really do much. But I think this is like a precursor event to the main event, and all that this actually does is makes the main event easier or harder, I think. I don't know how this works. Are you interested in the Fractured Butthole? Also in 2 days? I am. I didn't realize it was coming out that soon. I really am. Not too many people are aware of this, but I'm a big fan of the previous game. And South Park in general, I've always enjoyed. I actually really liked the serialized note that they took in the previous 2 seasons. I don't know whether Matt and Trey really have the kind of... the chops, or the experience, let's put it this way, to pull it off, and you know they haven't quite found the endings they were looking for before. But I don't agree with what other people say that they should go back. I like serialized cartoons, and I like the tendency for things to go in that. In fact, I spent a little bit of time recently watching Adventure Time again. You guys who have been watching a lot of streams will remember me talking about this and some glowing review I read about it, so I wanted to see what it was all about. And it's at the start of season 5 right now, and it really has started getting a bit more interesting. And I like stuff like that. I don't know, I think it's really interesting. By the way, this specific event can fail. Well, I'm gonna get owned here, unless we have some hero that will save the day. Oh, what? What? Come on. All right, we're out. Okay, let's get some duelists hitting it. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Yeah, I mean, this was not going to happen. What I would say, guys, is do not Zerg on my tag, because we have to be spread three ways out. They're preparing to assault the realm portal. So as you can see here on my map, there's one here, and one over here. And we need to like spread out and do all of them. So please don't just stand with a tag. The only other times I've tried this, 1 or 2 of the assaults have succeeded, but the other ones haven't. So anyway, let's listen to the dialogue. I'm curious.
You're all set. Good luck, and may Cormyr guide you.
Ooh, I'm excited. All right, come on, Solar. So I'll do Solar. You guys spread out and do some of the others. This distribution of players is not what I'm talking about. Okay, all right, the demolition.
Follow me. Help me make it to the Maw so I can use this portal spike. Just make sure I get to the Maw.
Did I see the last episode? It was an introduction to the game story. No, I didn't. I didn't even realize the... I just said I'm a fan, but I didn't even realize it had come back out. It's interesting. You can't coordinate NA? Yeah, we can. There's nothing wrong with NA players. Stop making sweeping generalizations. We got this. We'll be fine. It would be exactly the same on EU, as if people wouldn't want to be on the tag for EU. Of course they would.
No time to waste. That portal won't close itself.
Okay. What did he say? He'll cut us to pieces? That's interesting. So, if these NPCs die, does it insta-fail it for us, or what? What's the deal with this? Okay. I kind of want to play an Infinite Horizons build, even though I know it's not particularly effective.
No time to waste. That portal won't close itself.
I also want to play a power Mirage. Maybe we can turn one of those on for more open world stuff. No. Catmander, you're disappointed. This is honestly, it's just left over from the cat video I did with Boots. Oh, so that was another thing, like another... I don't know what's going on with all these angry people and controversies and stuff. Here's some more therapy. I want to hear what you guys think. Legitimately, I want to hear what you think. What is people's opinion? So in the cat video, Boots and I opened a 20, the lowest possible scale. All right, so a soloable fractal, basically. We opened the Shattered Observatory, and we basically duoed the first boss. Okay. But in the middle of the first boss, Boots died by jumping off the edge. So in the middle of that, we opened LFG. So 3 people joined. It took them maybe 15 seconds for the LFG to fill. You know, there's no shortage of players around. It was very, very brief, very quick. These people joined. The first boss died. The people were not, we weren't reliant on those people to finish the initial event. And then Boots and I went. We spent maybe 3 or 4 minutes getting Simon the cat. And then, in my opinion, it's perfectly appropriate for us to then leave the fractal. Those people who were on LFG can just as easily as we did reopen LFG and fill those 2 slots. They still have a majority of a team. They are still more than capable of clearing it without me and Boots there. They can refill in like a mere moment. To me, there's no problem with dropping out. This isn't like Guild Wars 1, where we're at the end of Urgo's Warren and we've just dipped out and abandoned them to failure, right? It's a Guild Wars 2 low-level fractal where LFGs fill incredibly quickly. We weren't reliant on them in the first place. There was no formal conversation between any of us. There was no social contract going on where we were all, required to stay. To me, there is nothing wrong with that. But Boots, in the video, was like outraged that I even suggest it. And it was a bit of a joke, and Boots very quickly acquiesced to me, and we were like, okay, all right, let's just move on. There's no problem. And Boots did make the point they waited for us to get the cat, but it wasn't very long. And they didn't have, my argument to that is they didn't have to wait for us to get the cat. They could have cleared the bouncing ball bit, and even the Astartive fight, or Varastra fight. They could have cleared that on their own very comfortably. So, we're getting owned here, by the way. This guy's tanky as all hell. I mean, I'm really hitting him quite hard with my duelist still up, but yeah. I don't want to feel like I always have to play the healing build. So, so to me, there's no problem. However, I have noticed a couple of people did indeed sneer at that behavior and sort of look at it as this moral bad thing. Including, again, yesterday I didn't just have some nutter going on about me stealing from him. I also had, I had someone say, like, really angrily calling me an elitist prick for leaving the thing. So I don't know what's going on, but I don't know whether I've just become a bad person since Path of Fire's come out. I don't know whether I'm genuinely doing all these abhorrent, mean, rude things, but I'm getting quite a bit of flack from people lately. So let's talk about it. Here we go, therapy session. Is it bad? Is it that bad to leave that fractal? Because I really don't think it is. And you're welcome to contest me. Just don't be a dick about it. I thought it was perfectly fine. You know, I never would have thought, but apparently this is elitist. Apparently this is, you know, and what's mostly on my mind as well is, you know, that video is supposed to be entertaining. You know, it was an hour and a half long record session as it was. If we'd stayed to do the whole fractal after that as well, for no reason other than this weird, to me, it just wasn't worth it. So yeah, it was quite curious. But yeah, you know, I got really sincerely sort of aggressively slapped at in the comments again. It's a bit rude, but I don't think it's that bad. Not bad, just a bit rude. It's not a particularly nice thing to do. See, I mean, it's not a particularly nice thing to do. What's not nice about it? They joined our group. It's not like Boots and I mean, the rudest I can imagine this being would be they're at the end of the fractal. They LFG. They've cleared the whole way there. It's a high-level fractal. Boots and I joined their LFG just to leech the cat and then immediately leave. That I can understand as being rude. But them hopping into our already in progress fractal just to speed up the... And it's not like we kicked them out of it afterwards. It's not like us leaving dooms them to failure or anything like that, you know. So you know, I can understand there are circumstances in which this could be construed as rude. But I think with all context accounted for, is it rude? Even slightly?
I knew I'd break you.
Don't agree there, WP. It doesn't matter how fast you can find other players. You simply don't just leave a group without any explanation to others. But why is it bad to leave a group without explanation to others when people join without explanation? Why is it their business upon joining my group? It's not like they open chat and stuff, right? Well, they might have. I didn't even look at the chat, right? It's not like... It's not like it matters whether my motivation to be in there was to do with the cat or to actually clear it. What does it matter? It's generally good etiquette. I just don't understand what the etiquette serves on this one. Who cares about the etiquette? What does it harm them or hinder them in any way? I think that it is wrong to say, to take a hardline stance and say, no, it's bad. Because I think that the context and the fact that they can easily replace us in LFG just as easily as we got them, but we're literally talking just a couple of seconds, I think that does count for something. I think, you know, if it takes ages to get a viable 25 group, and they were all so terrible they couldn't complete it without me and Boots, then that context changes things, and then it does look rude. But the fact they could have soloed it, let alone 3-manned it, the fact that they can find a replacement in just a couple of seconds, the fact there was no discussion going on, all of the fact it was already our fractal and we'd started it off, and that they didn't even, you know, they weren't relying on us to get to the progress that the fractals are. I think all of these things do serve to paint a very different picture. And yeah, I'll even go for it as well. The fact that we weren't just playing the game, but we were recording a video, and you know, that would have bogged it down. And you know, I'm not saying that we couldn't have cut that bit out, but then it affects the flow and so on. I think all of these things do add up. I don't think it's right to just say, no, you shouldn't ever leave a fractal without saying something. Why does it matter? What's the actual practical difference between me saying, okay, we were just here for the cat, guys, bye, and just leaving? The result is the same. So I've completely lost. So what's going on here? I've never seen this. So we finished the 3 assaults and now the Demolisher's here. Okay. Is the idea to kill him nice and quick? I'll spam some CC in a second. Here we go. Oh no, he's moved. Crap. Wow, did he kill our thing as well? I'll pop my signet as well. Why not? Oh wait, sorry, wrong signet. No, was that the right signet? Yeah, no, that was the right signet. I always mess up the two Mesmer signets. They're so similar. Well, they're not similar. One's a stun break, one's a stun, but you get what I mean. Next time, ask some Spuds to help you out. Well, that's not quite the same. I mean, I did a separate video on that fractal with Spuds, so yeah, I mean, I know that's an option too. And again, like, this is also one of those weird things. You know, people's criticism of it is based on, like, a potential offense being given. But, you know, I think that that's so hysterical and foolish to do, because there was no offense. There was, you know, this would be a different discussion if after I did that, one of the guys whispered me saying, wow, why did you just leave? Or, you know, on any level showed that they were bothered. But none of them had a problem. Nobody had a problem. So, you know, when we look at, you know, the real world and what actually happened there, if nobody's got a problem, is the discussion worth it? And I know that I've just thrown the discussion on us, but that's in response to people raising their eyebrows in the first place. You don't just leave without saying goodbye. It's rude. Is it rude? Do I have to say goodbye to everyone here right now in the open world? Because it's the same thing. We got these people, you know, this is a stream, so it's different. But if this was just a regular event, do I have to say goodbye every time I leave a squad in the open world? I may have found that squad through LFG. I may have been reliant on that squad to get the bounty or whatever done. But I have to say goodbye. Is it rude to drop out of that group event? Why is it different just because it's in a fractal that's in an instance? Exaltation of the Guardians. So look, we've now done this one. Nice. Sabotage the Maws of Torment and destroy the legendary Forge Demolisher. I almost wish I didn't bring this conversation up right now because I'm missing whatever cool lore was associated with this. God, I gotta sort my inventory out. What's this here? It's only rude in the sense that it's a minor inconvenience for others, like how people view loudly talking on your phone on the bus. In the grand scheme, it doesn't matter. Yes, whisper everyone personally, thanking them for their time, and also send them some ectos to compensate. Don't people fall out of fractals often? Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a culture for dipping in and out of fractals. I don't take it... Like, if I'm in a Nightmare CM and I don't have a full group, and someone drops out, as we're starting, if I say Mesmer please or something, and the Mesmer joins, they take one look at the AP of people or whatever, and they leave, I don't think that's rude of them to have left. I would never cry foul and say, oh, that's rude, you joined our LFG and then you left. It's, you know, that's LFG. It's hot join in and hot join out. It's, you know, you have to view these things within the context of the speed that the stuff happens. There's an injured agent here. I want to go to the mouth now. Where are we? I want to go in there and see if it's safe now. We've been taken to a weird location. What's the easiest way in, I wonder? Can you shout the lottery, please, as it closes today? Oh, it closes today. What, on today's stream? You want me to do a bit of the stream flag where I draw the winner? Today. You sound so elitist, says Big Donkey Dong. Lol. Are you joking? Do I sound elitist? Like, this is the question. Is it elitist? Because I had someone really angry with me for doing it. I don't know how common this is among players on the EU or US side, but I always think that I always thank the party after we finish a fractal one. Yeah, I mean, I'll do that, but I view that as a... There's a difference between doing something as a politeness and a nicety versus not doing it is now suddenly rude. You know, I don't think that seesaw exists, right? I think that thanking someone and saying, oh, I'm going to dip out, that's a polite thing to do. That's a nice thing to do. But that doesn't mean it's rude to not do it. Do you get what I mean? One doesn't... cause the existence of the others. There's a term for what I'm trying to express here. People who think that that's elitist never saw real elitism. I mean, I'm inclined to agree with that as well, honestly. Like, I feel like there's a certain fragility in actually caring about this that people are expressing. Like, elitism, you know, real elitism, I don't think you see too much in this MMO. Like, real elitism... yes, it exists in Guild Wars 2. Yes, people have been on the receiving end of it. But I don't think it's apportioned out as heavily or as readily in this game as it can be in other games. Or in the history of this franchise when it came to Guild Wars 1. And build and player discrimination back then. If you want real elitism, we have to talk about hero rank discrimination for getting into HA groups and stuff back in PvP formats in the first game. You know, if we want to talk about real elitism, it's that. I can understand the point you're making, WP. In your example, it was simply a misunderstanding among players, something that does tend to happen every now and then, and people exaggerate stuff. Skill clicking mounts. Yeah, I'm almost skill clicking mounts and refusing to bind just to annoy people at this point, to lash back. So this place isn't safe, even with the meta done. Forge incursions have been slowed. Man, that's disappointing. I wanted, like, lore. I wanted someone to come here and talk to me about this. At the mouth of torment. Man. I also kind of don't like that they reused this. I mean, it's a beautiful asset, but it's an asset we've seen before. Curious. Very curious. All right, so anyway, to Vabi, I guess. Let's walk, because that lets me focus on chat a little bit more. Hopefully people don't feel that this is too defensive or antagonistic as a discussion here. And there's a lot of big walls of text going on here. If you'd advertise an LFG as specifically stopping at the cat, would those people have still joined? Probably not, but I see the argument there. But does that matter when, like, me leaving the fractal is not the same as me kicking them out of the fractal, right? And I think to suggest so is wrong, right? They can still comfortably 3-man that, or they can comfortably go back to LFG and replace us. Us going to get the cat never stopped them from proceeding with the next interim things. None of it was reliant on our existence there. And if anything, we'd already done them a favor by opening the fractal and making good progress and headway on the first boss before they joined. So I think that discussion, there's something slight in that, but I don't think it goes the whole way to illustrate the situation. Put yourself in their shoes. If you joined a pug for a fractal and 2 people wandered off for a bot and you waited for them and they dropped out, would you be annoyed? Again, the waiting thing, I think, yeah, there is something in that. And I even said that to Boots in the video. I said, yeah, they did wait for us. But I would argue that they didn't have to wait. And I wouldn't have been waiting. And no, I would not have been that annoyed. That's kind of the whole point. When I put myself in their shoes, I would not have been annoyed. I can honestly, genuinely say that. God, navigating there's a bit annoying. Do you guys have this issue where you can't demount quite often? Like, there I was trying to get off to get on the Raptor or something, but it just wasn't quite working. Someone wants to change the subject. Should we change the subject if we exhausted all of this? I feel like, I like the Twitch discussions, and I like the back and forth, and I like that we've got some sensible heads on us, and we can do it without turning into frothing, you know, chimps. But I feel like they get a bit circular. They also lose context after a while. I think people think that, you know, there's some controversy when really we're just sort of bringing something forward. On the difference of, what are your thoughts? The Mouth of Torment could be the next portal for the Raid Wing. I mean, yes, I think that's a possibility. That's a really poor elitism. Just because there was a period of time that the elitism was worse doesn't instantly forgive everything lesser. No, I didn't say that either. And, you know, that logic holds for a lot of things. Oh, your problems aren't real because people are starving in Africa. You know, it's that similar kind of thing, right? But I don't think anyone was making that argument. But I do think, you know, discussions need context. And if we are going to talk about elitism and what is elitism, I think it is perfectly fair to say that progress has been made and to point that out. And to question the authenticity of a discussion.
Don't panic.
And whether it's really that serious anymore.
You is just a temporary gift to help you help me. There are abominations in the area I need you to capture. If you weaken them, the magic I've placed on you will activate, and you'll be able to lead them back to me.
Alright, thank you very much for all of that. How do you feel about this portal being green instead of black purplish? Yeah, I don't know whether they just didn't want to make an asset for it. I'm not quite sure. You mean bipolar? That it isn't always polite versus rude? Oh my god, I'm scrolled up really far, I guess, because people are talking about stuff from ages ago. Christ. Cormyr's realm equals once realm of torment. If you look at the sky in Cormyr's sanctum, is the same as the floor. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Wow, that's a really cool observation. So if you look into the sky in the library, it looks like looking into that portal. That's really cool. There's very much a difference of opinion. There isn't a real answer to reach at this point. I think there's always an answer to reach. You make sure everyone has the right information. Anyway. Well, it seems like it's still called the Realm of Torment, as Bobby Stein's reply on the Reddit AMA indicated that the Redeemed Realm rename for the realm from Guild Wars 1 data is not considered to be canon. No, I actually think, I remember that comment, and I think he was just pointing out that you can't speak so authoritatively about those things as the person he was responding to often does. Often presents things as facts that are not facts at all. And I think Bobby was right to point that out, that, you know, you're speaking in a manner about this aspect of law that's not fair. Here's the Forbidden Vault. Yeah, this is the room with the ladies. And it's open right now.
What is this place?
One question at a time. This is Joko's betrothal chamber. All of us here, through one path or another, are sworn to wed the great king.
Eric, I'll get you all out of here. Quickly, come with me.
You'll help us?
We are not captives. We are gifts to the king, from our families or our leaders. Some volunteered. In exchange, Joko allows those we care for to survive and prosper. To leave would be a breach of contract.
Can't you see how wrong that is?
We sacrifice what we must.
So this is really interesting, by the way. They do something weird with the dialogue in this instance that I haven't seen them do anywhere else in the expansion. And that's that the first line of written dialogue is always voice acted. So if I speak to the ogre, listen.
Kralkatorrik branded my village. Without the strength to survive, I turned to Joko.
See, she says that. And then here, Kralkatorrik branded my crew. I couldn't even save my pet, Joko. So it's weird the way that they do that. Someone had a point. Butter Peanut says, let's out this way. If you were standing with those players IRL, would you have said bye or said something to indicate your intentions? If so, then it's no different here. No, I don't think that's fair because it's not IRL. It's a video game in Fractals where it is less social. That's the point. That's when you contextualize this, stripping it of all context doesn't give us a meaningful answer to this debate because it makes it about something else. It wasn't IRL, it was a Fractal. And no goodbyes were given, but no hellos were given either. And quite often in Fractals, no hellos are given. So I think that's wrong. I had a similar thing as well years ago. I might have talked about this in a stream. When I was pugging with some guildies. I was playing with some guildies. There were like 3 of us. We were in TeamSpeak. We were doing the Jade Moore Fractal, right? When Fractals first came out. And we got a pug. I can't remember how we got the pug. It must have, was LFG in the game at the time? We got a pug anyway. And we were talking to the pug about how to beat the Jade Moore because it was new and we didn't know how to do it and stuff. And I said in party chat to the pug, I said, hey pug, can you do X? Right? And one of my guildies like got really offended at that. Like, you can't say that. You can't call them a pug. That's outrageous. Like, it was this big like social faux pas. You know, I'm not tormented and upset about this discussion, and I wasn't about that one either. But, you know, to me, it's interesting that people have these different ideas of what is correct social etiquette within the context. Because to me, it was like, he is a pug. It's not an insult to call him a pug. He's a pickup groupie. He's someone who's just joined us. He's a pug. It probably would have been nicer to use his character name. But at the end of the day, we're in the middle of a fight, and pug is 3 letters, and his character name takes, you know, mental exertion to figure out what it is and make sure you type it correctly and blah, blah, blah. It's easier to just type P-U-G. But, you know, it was this desperately offensive thing, supposedly. I love these cobwebs, by the way. I think it's so cool. So, you know, there are these weird things where things don't line up. WP, this stream is Peggy 13. Talk to the Choya. Sorry. Yeah, I did a video about it already. So, you know, we're all on the same page as far as I'm concerned on that. Is this a PvE build? Do you have it saved? No, I don't have this build saved. I have Power, Phantasm, and Alacrity and Quickness saved. I do not have any other thingies saved. I'm a bit scared of this because supposedly it had a chance to delete gear and the devs won't help you if it does so and stuff. So... And I know that a criticism like that could be insanely rare. It could be like 0.001% chance for it to happen. But because it can, it will eliminate a huge portion of people. The kind of people who play lotteries and think they'll win will also think that they could be struck by a 0.001% thing. So, you know, I think I understand that that's a very dangerous niggle and maybe we shouldn't actually care about it. But I don't actually know what the rates are like and stuff. So I'm a bit scared of it since Path of Fire came out. This is what happens when you're more independent and self-sufficient. People can't wrap their heads around it. What? What do you mean? I'm not sure. Is that the nub of this, do you think? People are being way too pedantic about the fractal thing. Well, I'm inviting pedantry. That's okay. If people are being pedantic, if we're getting too much discussion out of a minor thing, that's fine. Because I'm inviting it, right? And we all understand it's just a thought experiment, right? Like, it's just a discussion for the sake of discussion. It's not that it's important because we get it. And again, remember this, please, in all avenues of life, guys. Because there's a lot of discussion about something, it doesn't mean it's now important. Both can be true. We can talk for hours about pointless topics because it's fun to discuss, not because they're important topics, yeah? That's something the internet would do well to remember. You have the wrong backpack on, WP. Support the one true god and rep Abaddon. I'm sorry, dude. I got the Grenth one because this is a Viper's backpack, so Grenth Vipers. I don't think it looks very good, to be honest. My Abaddon one is still stat selectable in my inventory. So, let's just do a couple of events as we move our way to the meta. I don't even know where the meta is located. It's in the brand, right, I think.
There's nothing more I can teach you. You're truly soldiers now. I'm proud to have served with you 5 dead defenders.
So we'll see what we got here. Wouldn't bother me, but I'm playing devil's advocate. Yeah, you know, and certainly I think that's worthwhile. WP, just admit you're a horrible person. Nobody's calling me a horrible person. One person called me a horrible person yesterday in the YouTube comments who had their comment removed, obviously. So, and they're not here, so that's not the point. It's not like I'm crying over this. I think it's interesting to look at people's different understanding of what fractals are. You called them a pug, Failfish. WP, if it's up, will you do the meta in Vabi? Yeah, that's what I want to do now with the Balthazar pets. Ooh. For me, it's 50-50 chance to get any kind of interaction in a fractal pug. The percentage gets bigger if stuff starts going wrong, unless folks... Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe this is like... What's that thing? You know, supposedly there's this... I'm convinced this is an urban legend. There's that thing, that 50% of the population, when they have a poo... Alright, yeah, we're going there. When they have a poo, 50% of people stand up to wipe their bum. And 50% of people remain seated to wipe their bum. And you're either a stander or a sitter. And supposedly, without realizing it, there's this massive divide. There's like a 50-50 divide. A lot of people are standers and a lot of people are sitters. And never did they realize that the other world existed. Let's do it, Twitch chat. Are you a 1 or are you a 2? 1 if you stand, 2 if you sit when you wipe. 1 versus 2. Let's see if this is an urban legend. Let's see it. 1 or 2. Do you stand or sit, people? Call him by his class, then? I suppose that's possible as well. But, you know, to me, like, calling someone a pug, it's not... What's offensive about that? I would never be upset if someone called me a pug. If I was a pug. I wouldn't even be offended if I was in a guild group and a guildie of mine was like, hey, pug. I wouldn't even be offended at that. I'd be like, what are you doing? I'm not a pug. I'm in TS with you. What are you talking about? You know, I would be weird. It wouldn't be offensive. I don't think there's any world where that's offensive. To suggest that being called a pug is an offensive thing is to sort of reveal your own assumptions about the average Guild Wars player, actually, right? To sort of betray your own prejudice about the quality of pugs, that to believe that being a pug in and of itself is bad, you know? That itself is the deeper discrimination there, perhaps. That awkward moment when his name was XXX Pug XXX. Oh god, I need to scroll. To be fair, WP brought the topic up, and then after it died, it brought it up again. Talk to me for hours. I think that's what these are. WP's a horrible person. There are 2 metas. There's also a Forged by Fire. Alright, well, we'll do them both. Only one of them dings that achievement, though. Not an urban legend. Sitter, stander. I love this discussion. People stand up to why? Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Yeah, I know. I'm a sitter. I'm proud to be a sitter. I think it's definitely the cleaner approach, in my opinion. This is really rude of me. This is genuinely... I am a horrible person for saying this. But I do wonder if there's like a weight component to this. Like if you're a particular... Let's just be real for a second. If you're a particularly big person... Maybe it's hard to reach around while you're sitting down, so you're sort of forced to stand up. Is that a thing, maybe? I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. It's an alien world to me. I'm just trying to figure it out, all right? Oh, God. Oh, look at this. Look, there are these. Look at this range. Look at this. Wow, look, it is real. There's lots of 1s and 2s. People that stand up don't count as people anymore. Wow, look at this. Look at what we've triggered here. Why would you stand? What if you... Oh, God. This is a bit gross. I apologize. This is definitely a Peggy 13 stream now. Apparently, there's a thing as well. Since we're talking about potty talk, there's another thing as well that people talk about in women's bathrooms. And women, when you get a filthy women's bathroom, and I'm not saying that women are more filthy in bathrooms than men or whatever. Of course, I'd have no real perspective for that because I don't hang around in the ladies' rooms all the time. I think humans are just gross, generally speaking. And when they get to public places, they lose all sense of cleaning up after themselves. But you hear this thing about hover seating. What is it? Where people are so scared to sit on a public toilet that they like deliberately, you know, exercise their thighs and hover over it. I mean, to me, this is like germophobia to me. This is like ridiculous, and I think it's obscene. But apparently, like, a lot of people do this, and then because they hover, they then create a mess on the toilet seat which forces other people to feel like they have to hover, and it becomes this like self-fulfilling prophecy, right? This is the real-world Flameseeker prophecies right here. God, I'm a nerd. So this is another thing that I've always been curious about. Oh, I'm loving it. I need to scroll, though. I want to scroll, but I want to read all your comments. All right, so, wow, look at how much heart progress we got there. That was pretty nice. I should finish these hearts, shouldn't I? Maybe I'll get something for open skies from this. So let's just do this. Oh, speaking of toilets and dirty toilets, dirty chamber pot right here. Ooh, we can splash it? Throw out the contents, preferably far from the palace. What? Let's throw it on this guy, this noble. Oh, look, he was grossed out by it. This is awesome. I didn't realize you could do that. Neglected work, a potted tree. If I can find an axe, I don't know what to do with it. Let's burn these dirty clothes. Oh, I need a torch, though, don't I? Torch. Burn the clothes. This is my kind of cleaning. I am fat, and I can confirm I can't reach while sitting down. Wow. Wow. There you go. That's some... I like the honesty right there. Either that, or you're lying, and you're just trying to, like, I don't know... put the weighty class of people down and make them feel bad. The places we go.
Can you help?
Gonna sound gross, but standing lets you spread for them hard to reach places. I feel like sitting allows you to spread for those hard to reach places. What are you talking about? Listening to this while eating breakfast. Hard or not, I just don't want to reach down into the disgusting, still not flushed bowl. That's an interesting perspective. And maybe, you know, because I know that in the US, right? And I'm not saying everyone with that opinion is from the US. But in the US, they have, like, very shallow, wide bowls. While here in the UK, they have very deep bowls. And it's quite different. Right, there's a very real risk of touching toilet water in the US. But in the UK, that's not a thing, because our toilets are designed a little bit differently. They're deep. So, like, splashback and stuff isn't really a thing. You'd never have to worry about such a thing. So maybe that's got a part of it. Toilet design. That's just dumb. Weight goes forward. There's a third option. Those who water it. Japanese toilets. Don't the Japanese have toilets that, like, speak to you and stuff, though, right? A pickaxe. What do I want a pickaxe for? I'm doing this so, like, terribly. Dirty dishes. Can we just deep... Oh, somebody else broke them already. You bastard. All right, I'm going to throw these into the plants over here. This dirty chamber pot. No, that didn't help either. Garden hoe. I love these events. These hearts. I'll reiterate what I said on a previous stream. These are top quality hearts. These are the best hearts the game's ever done. Whinging about them because they take a long time to complete does not change the fact that these are the best hearts that they've ever done. With the most detail to them, the most varying objectives to them, these are the best hearts. You cannot claim otherwise. Your desire to spam through the game quickly does not change the facts. And I love what they did. Even though I just went down to the lowest common denominator activity, which is just spam DPS on stuff. But that was nice. All right, we'll go towards the metas now, and I guess I'll take some advice on where we go. Doomblade says the meta's started. Has it? Sorry, dude. That was a while ago as well. I'm big and it's not hard to reach round. There you go. The myth busting going on here. God, I'm in the depths of toilet conversation here. I'm scrolling, guys. I'm skipping all your comments. I'm sorry. Good hearts, bad rewards. I think that's fair. And there's an argument to be made that drags them down as a whole. Definitely. I'm so lost. I just want to get to the heart vendor. How do I get to the heart vendor? At least we got an 850 karma reward, guys. Is he in here? Oh, I remember this. He's the guy that has the different dialogue as we get close. Oh, we just had a duck. £1 from Wildfire 7170. I can't marry him. I love Lumo. I can't marry him. I love Lumo. I can't marry him. I love Lumo. I can't marry him. I love Lumo.
Another supplicant come to stare at me through these bars. I feel less like a prince, and more like a beast in the garden's menagerie.
It could be the odor, Highness. The chamber pots won't fit through the bars.
Can't we open the bars? Just a small amount?
You threw away the key, Highness, as a safety measure.
And the Forged have yet to reach us. So, you have your audience. What do you ask of me?
Hello. Got anything for sale? What? Bro. Oh, there we go. Maybe I was just messing that up. Oh, but I don't know whether I've got the money for the Griffin thing anyway. Intelligence report, Palawa Joko 1. Oh, that's the... Oh, he doesn't have a Griffin thing. I don't even think I got the cash on me. Oh, I'm 2 gold shy. You do get money very quickly, you know. Like, I've not had to formally sell, like, charged lodestones and stuff from my bank to get it. I just keep getting just back up to 25 and then spending it. And then just getting back up to 25 and then spending it. It's actually been really nice. Anyway. So Inks asks... Inks has got a good question. On this heart thing, right, guys? I think he was asking other people in chat. So there was a comment, and it was... they're good hearts, but the rewards aren't good enough for them to be repeatable, and I can get behind that. I think that there's some interesting chat there. So how do you guys fix that? I think first we have to do the fundamentals. I'm going to turn the dialogue off here so that it stops talking over me. First, we go back to the fundamentals. Are repeatable hearts a good thing for Guild Wars 2? Imagine a perfectly implemented repeatable heart. Is this a good thing fundamentally for Guild Wars 2? I say yes. I say the more replayability, I say the more reason to visit these maps outside of their metas, the more diversified the PvE experience is, the better. The more objectives of players, the more meaningful things to do. These are only good things. And I think that the game should never be scared to continue pushing stuff like that. So I'm for repeatable hearts. However, once we've made this assertion, and I agree that that's a debatable assertion, but that's not what I want to debate. Let's just take that assertion as a red for now, yeah? Once we've made that, now, how do you make it work best? Especially within the context of Path of Fire. As Ink says, what would you want from repeatable heart rewards? Let's hear it, guys. So, like, Big Donkey Dong says metas are greater than hearts. That's another discussion. Let's not have that. I believe diversity and having the most things available is actually best. I don't agree that metas can be the be-all and end-all, and I think you can point to Heart of Thorns. The reaction to Heart of Thorns is that. You think that the Season 3 hearts and vendors had to offer were exactly right? You don't understand why they made them so bland in POF? So what did they do there? They gave you a different, like, currency, basically. The main thing was doing the hearts for the berries, or for the petrified wood, or for the X, Y, and Z, right? You know, I think that they struck it rich with Seraph. I don't know. They seem to have played with Seraphs. And then, Janundu event is up if the meta is dead. Oh, so the Janundu event is just an individual thing, is it? I think that the Seraph format was awesome. Lake Doric. Why didn't we get a different new stat set for each map? Why didn't they do it that way? Why wasn't it Vipers from Amnoon Oasis and... Christ, I haven't even committed to memory the other ones. But, you know, each map gives you a different one. Why wasn't it that? Tied to doing hearts and stuff. I think that that was good. Something akin to provisions tokens, rare rewards tied to a currency that can only be accessible through repeatable hearts. Harriers, there you go, that's another one. Training the Janundu is the one that lets you ride them. Well, we'll have a look. The meta is up. It's at the hearth, apparently. Oh, crap. We went the wrong way. I'm sorry, guys. I've led the Zerg into the wrong place. There's already a baby blue tag over there, so... I'll follow it. It's beyond the Necropolis, guys. The Necropolis. The Necromancer Police. We're going behind there. Give me power, precision, vitality, condi damage stat set. Okay. The desire for a specific stat set is lovely, but that's not really the answer to making hearts good repeatable, is it? Don't you think that that's a bit of a weird... Or is this just because it's Twitch chat and you're talking about something else? Stats aren't always a great reward. Almost guarantees that people won't do them if the map stats are rampages, for example. For instance. So you say that, but also Seraph. I still don't have a Seraph set. And there's use for it now, obviously, since POF. But for months, there wasn't. But it was still an exciting prospective reward to me. And while I never got it, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the fact I never got it actually demonstrates that it was bad. But I like the idea of it. And I'm pleased with it, despite having not pursued it. Just as I'm pleased with the inclusion of a new legendary weapon each Living World update, despite the fact I've not gone for one. You know, I haven't got the Shining Blade, I haven't got Shushadu, I haven't got Eureka, I haven't got any of those. But I'm pleased with them for being there in the game. I think they're positive things. We're going to miss this. This is, like, tricky to get to. How do we get there? This isn't right. I've taken a weird route. This isn't right. Do we need the Springer to climb over? It's like a bit out there, isn't it? So is this the big event as well? This is the final thing of the meta and we've basically just missed the whole thing? Why do I get the feeling that they don't want me climbing this and that it's going to be an invisible wall up there anyway, even if I do try? Is it an entrance from within their base? Mayhaps. Are we right next to the entrance, perchance? Oh. Ah, you bitch. Oh, no, you can make it up like that. No, I bet that's... I think I know where this is. Isn't that the giant bone pit place? God, I'm such a bad commander. Like, I should not be repping this tag. We failed the big meta, WP. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I have heard some things about the big meta. Like, you need lots of break bar damage and other stuff of this nature, correct? That's a thing, guys? So now I'm out of range of the meta entirely. Yeah, there's invisible walls there. So how did these people get here? Oh! The story takes us inside the factory, doesn't it? And I bet it's where the story is. So is it down here and then you take a left? Is this the entrance? I wonder if this is it. I'm sure someone's already told me in chat and they're angry. Sorry guys, but I'm going to focus on the game for a second. There you go. Rain Pumpkin screaming in all caps the story way. Let's go this way. Here we are. Nice. We might miss it nonetheless. Do you think there will be a legendary armor set for non-Raider PvE players? No, I don't think so. They more or less said they're not pursuing more legendary armor anyway, didn't they? I also think that I would question the value of something that... Well, I don't know. We don't have to get into this discussion. I get it. A lot of people fundamentally hate raiding, and I think if you want it, you should go for it via PvP or World vs. World if raiding's not your thing. Apparently the PvP route is not too bad, right? Oh, it's Tamar and Tegon. Forged Tamar and Tegon. What? Oh, this is excellent. What is this? So did you guys realize as well that essentially we did kill his hounds in Flashpoint? We did. We killed them there. Which I think is pretty interesting. Oh, so close. Man, though. Look at the mobs' names. Yeah, I have. This is cool. What's the dialogue that talks about why they're forged versions of them? This is annoying with its phasing as well. Oh no. I don't want to shatter. Please don't make me shatter. Please. Ah. Oh, please. I'm trying to get away. Oh. Staying back here. They sound really awesome as well. I should equip like a scepter or something. What should I do here? I'm actually just going to wait. Summon this and let the passive for my signet start healing me up. Because it's often stronger than I give it credit for. I didn't jaunt in the right place there. That's a shame. Why did I use the 2? I'm such an idiot. Oh, he despawned anyway. We're doing okay. We're second best at the moment, even though we've not really been doing anything. Oh, I love these easy builds. I sort of miss Eye of the North books that helped you build various rep currencies. It's weird as well because that was so hated. There are some little stories and things that when you look at, you realize how different Guild Wars 2 is to Guild Wars 1 and the community is. You guys, people hated rep factions. They hated rep titles. They hated everything it stood for. Guild Wars 1 had such a purist approach in terms of some of its aspects of design that have melted so utterly away. It's weird to think that these days in Guild Wars 2, those kinds of systems are embraced. Look at how cool that AoE looked. Did you see the star? And I got caught on it. Don't worry about Rez and me. Just finish off the last boss. Why didn't you warn on YouTube Foot stream? It's my only way of knowing you streaming. You're asking why I didn't do an announcement video? I don't know. I wanted a bit of a smaller... I know this is going to sound weird and almost like it's not true, because who would want a smaller stream? But I kind of wanted a smaller stream. Where I can keep up with chat a bit better, and I don't know. I've not been feeling good today. I don't know what it is, but... So I just thought, hey, I'll just do a stream. I'll just impromptu turn it on and do something productive. So here I am. I'm having fun doing the metas that I've wanted to do for a while. That's it, really. They did. Perhaps the original Prophecies players did, but when I joined Guild Wars 1, something like 9 years ago, I didn't notice anyone hating reptiles. Oh, absolutely. I will absolutely counter your perspective there. Definitely. Nothing... Well, there was an element of just You know, there was an interview with Colin Johansson after he'd ceased to be game director, right, on YouTube. It was a weird interview in that it just sort of appeared. And it wasn't really about Guild Wars. It wasn't about much, really. But in it, he mentioned something, and I think he was really right when he talked about it. He mentioned that everyone hated so many different... No, he didn't say everyone hated Guild Wars 1. But he said that people hated this and this and this, and there was nothing but complaints, and it was... You know, there were all these problems with Guild Wars 1. And then the second Guild Wars 2 released, all of a sudden, in the community's mind, Guild Wars 1 was the best thing ever. And there was nothing wrong with Guild Wars 1, and it was the best thing. And, you know, the discussion was about... You know how there can be majorities that are being silent. And usually all you really see is the complaining side of things. There are people who love Guild Wars 2 right now. And despite all the discussions and upset and things about various things, were a Guild Wars 3, for example, to be announced, all of a sudden Guild Wars 2 would have been the best thing ever. And, you know, as more time passes, Guild Wars 2 would be the best. You see this in all games, all the time, right? So anyway, it was a discussion about that, and, you know, his identification that people had so many complaints about Guild Wars 1. They did, you know, they really did. And one of the big ones I distinctly remember, very distinctly remember, was backlash against rep titles and forced grind and giving people mechanical advantages because they were grinding. And that's not what Guild Wars is about. Guild Wars is low level cap and instantly hitting the gear cap. And how dare they force us to grind to max out... you know, our Norn track to get max Urson damage on our skills and get more vitality in those regions of the world. This is like so anti-Guild Wars, and it's a disgrace that they would ever do it. And it's clear just grind that's been added because Eye of the North was a subpar product that didn't have enough content in it. You know, these are what I'm saying is, it might sound like nonsense hyperbole to all of you these days, and it might sound like, oh yeah, but it's fun and we like progression and stuff, to the Guild Wars 2 mindset. But this stuff was hated. Stuff like the Chaos Gloves, right? Yeah, hey, as a reading of the room, I'm going to go out on a limb and we'll see whether what comes up before I make my statement here. Type a 1 if you like Chaos Gloves in Guild Wars 2. And I'm not talking about how they were given, and I'm not talking about Gem Store. Just do you like the aesthetic of Chaos Gloves? 1 if you like them, 2 if you don't like them. So, what do you guys think? So these are like super energy heavy... dyeable glowing hats that you can get. 1 if you like them, 2 if you don't. Actually, okay, so there's a bit of a mix. Maybe that's a story in and of itself, the mix there. 3, I'm indifferent. Anyway, they were hated in Guild Wars 1. So much complaining, because another pure element of Guild Wars 1, honestly, was like gear, right? It was like realistic armor sets and realistic weapons and not big shiny stuff and not power creep for auras and stuff. It was like, it was all about being refrained and like realistic and like And of course, and when Eye of the North got round, they'd slowly been leaking in more exaggerated things like the elemental sword with Nightfall and stuff, and slowly these things. But like, look at the design of 15k armor. Guild Wars 1's equivalent of like legendary armor, if you will, 15k armor, quite often was not. You know, it wasn't like extra shiny, and it didn't have like giant. Like, look at legendary armor in Guild Wars 2 for medium. A flaming dragon erupts from your back, and you know they do these things. And people will still say, oh, it's not flashy enough. It's not this. It's not this. That was death to Guild Wars 1. That's not what Guild Wars 1 was about. Stuff like the porcupine armor for the assassin armor in Cantha was ridiculed, mocked for being like too over the top and silly and stuff. And I remember when Eye of the North came out and we had the Chaos Gloves, you know, this made people sick. They didn't like it. And yes, in the Guild Wars 2 community, we do see some people out there who say, oh my god, look at all these auras. I did a video this week about Lion's Arch before it was corrupted and destroyed, rebuilt, sorry. And everyone was saying, wow, look at the game before mounts. Look at the game before gliding. It's weird to see WP's not gliding and he's not using his mount. It feels like a different game. There were comments like this. There were also a lot of comments from people saying, wow, look at how few auras there are around. Wow, look at how clean it looks. And people enjoying that. So you do see this in Guild Wars 2. You do see essentially the same discussions coming up. But the proportions were very different in Guild Wars 1. You know, very different. People really didn't like aura bloat and shiny bloat and stuff. And that's out there in Guild Wars 2, but not as much. By and large, we love that shit now, don't we? We love the shiny stuff. We want, you know, bigger weapons and bigger this and bigger that. So it's a kind of a different world. It really is. And these are the things that I find very interesting to look at. You know, people are always scared about, like, the frog being boiled. And all these terrible things happening to games without us noticing and blah, blah, blah. This is a thing for the Griffin. I'm going to do this because this is a fun event. I know it's not the meta. I don't really know where the meta starts. We'll wander around until we find it. But we'll do this. You know, these are the things. This is where the frog has been boiled. This is where you've seen Guild Wars 1 players leave. And by the way, I'm not saying that the Guild Wars 1 players are right. I'm more on the Guild Wars 2 people's side. I like progression. I like flashy skins. I've never hid from that. I like that stuff. I was a big fan of the Chaos Gloves. I was a big fan of the porcupine armor. I was a big fan of the elemental sword. And I'll be a big fan of, you know, in Guild Wars 1, this is what I was. There's a quest in Cantha again, right? There was this side quest where you were looking into the nature of the affliction and a cure for it. It was like alongside the Amphar or something. It appears in my Let's Play if you want to go back and look at it. This self-promotion, yeah, baby. But there's this quest, right, where you actually get afflicted. Believe it or not, you get afflicted. Now, what being afflicted does is it puts a permanent debuff on you where you consistently had -1 or -2 health degen. So it's like permanently having 1 stack of bleed that you cannot ever cleanse in Guild Wars 2. Imagine that. The combat move speed thing and build and stuff, ignore that. Imagine it didn't put you in combat, but imagine perpetually having 1 stack of bleed on you in Guild Wars 2. It doesn't put you in combat, but it's always there. It's always draining your health. And you can have gear and stuff that gives you and consumables that counteract that and give you like 1 stack of regeneration, but you have to invest build-wise into that. So there was this quest that gave you this debuff. And it was a rare quest. And in addition to that debuff, it also made you purple and stinky and made like flies buzz around you. And I was the kind of player, essentially it gave you an aura, right, is what I'm telling you. A Guild Wars 1 quest that gave you an aura. I was the kind of player, and I indeed did do this, on my main, on my Mesmer, for a period of years. Years, I'm not even joking. I deliberately got that quest and stalled completing the quest where you cure yourself just so that I could have this debuff on myself, just so that I could have this aura, just so I could be a special snowflake and I could look shinier than other people. That's what I did in Guild Wars 1. So, you know, I in no way say Guild Wars 1 players were sticks in the mud or were right, sorry. You know, I'd never be the person. I'm not putting down Guild Wars 2 players who feel this because I felt it. And I went to extreme lengths to have it, to have an aura in Guild Wars 1. But that's the kind of lengths you had to go to in the first game to experience that kind of thing. But I did that to be a special snowflake. And that's what it's always been about in MMOs for me. Looking different to other people. I don't you know, I don't have an eye for aesthetics, but I do have an eye for what is rare, I suppose, if you will, right? You know, I would wear the Molten Jetpack in Guild Wars 2, not because it looked good, not because I'd theory crafted a cool Fashion Wars character with it. I would wear it because it was a thousands of gold backpack and not many people had it. I would rep the Mini Karka because it was the rarest Karka in the game and not many people had it. It doesn't matter that I think it looks gross or I don't like its animations, if that were true, or whatever. As it stands, I have no opinions anyway. But you look at how cool this is. You have to jump and then you have to not jump sometimes. And he's already dead, which is a real shame, but yeah. So anyway, like, yeah, oh god, what a rant. Sorry, I haven't looked at chat for ages. That reminds you of Corpus from Morrowing, RTX 777. You just typed Morrowing, M-O-R-R-O-W-I-N-G. Dude, I know you mean Morrowind, and I always do exactly what you just did. I always type Morrowing. I don't know why, but that I-N-G is just so ingrained in me when I'm typing. I always type Morrowing accidentally. I'm like, wait, no, Morrowind. Wind, not wing, wind. I always do that. So you are a kindred spirit, my friend. I always find myself in that similar situation. So there you go. Griffin Egg progress for people. And a fun end to the event. Here's the academy. There's some fun lore and things here as well. Here's the paintings of Joko. Really weirdly, one of these paintings of Joko got updated in a patch where they like... I think it was this one, maybe. Where they changed some stuff on it. It was very strange. Very odd. All monks wore black Obi armor and torn shield and voltaic spear, chaos gloves and master of the Mozing or bandana. Yeah, and I think you actually, that's a great refutation of everything I've just said there, because I think you've got a point, right? Like, that despite all of the backlash, I so vividly remember, and all of the kind of purist, like, sneering that would go on, that was so transparent on, like, the Guild Wars 1 Guru forums and stuff. Despite all of that, the truth is, everyone did do that. Everyone did the Tormented Shield, and everyone got the Chaos Gloves in the end. So whether we can really say that the community back then were much more... But I believe there was a bigger backlash, right? I think that's my point. Players, it always attracted a certain kind of player that liked the flashiness. But I think that people didn't go down without a fight. Guild Wars 2 can add... Right, here's a great example. When Path of Fire came out, they added an outfit to the game. Here, I'll show you guys. Here, an actual reason to Alt-Tab and look at the stream instead of just listening to me. Check it out. They added... I don't know whether I got it in the end. Let's see. No, I didn't get it. Of course I didn't get it. I think it looks ridiculous. But anyway... They added this, the Forged outfit, right? This is a mental outfit. Let's be real. Crazy bloated effect and like all of this like mental fire and stuff. Guild Wars 2 can add this stuff and no one bats an eye. Maybe some do, but they're kind of looked at as oddballs now. It can do this and it's fine because this is just another thing on a pile of so many other things where they bloated the visual scene of the game and the visual space and so on. It's not questioned. Guild Wars 1, though everybody used tormented stuff and stuff when you once you got enough money and Chaos Gloves, it was there was always dissent when that was added, right? And it's because especially when Prophecies first came out, and for a long time they really did care about like the integrity of that space of the game. That's why Obsidian armor. Sorry, I was saying 15k armor earlier. I meant Obsidian. That's why Obsidian armor was like, look at the Obsidian armor designs. If you guys want to know what I'm talking about, open Guild Wars 1 wiki right now. It's easy to get to. Just quickly go to it. You don't have to turn off the stream. Just open another tab. And here we go. The presence of branded Forgotten Zerduts has quieted across the brand. So we're near the meta right now. We're in range of it. So we can just chill out for a while, I guess. What can we do that's meaningful in the meantime? Go to the Guild Wars 1 wiki and type in Obsidian armor. That is Guild Wars 1 legendary armor. Look at the designs of it. Seriously, look at the designs of it. It is not none of it is particularly flashy. None of it. And I just want to, I want you to pay particular attention to male Mesmer Obsidian armor. Because I was a male Mesmer main, right? And look at that, right? That does not appeal to the Guild Wars 2 mentality. There you go, look, SCX, the god with the links, is just posted in chat. The brand meta starts in an hour. An hour. You love the ritualist Obi armor. It looked like you had a teapot on your head. That's funny. Coca Bell says it wasn't flashy, but it did stand out in some way. I don't even know if that's true. I mean, it was distinctive in it had like those little black shiny bits on it, right? But I don't know whether it really even stood out that much. There was a lot of other gear sets that stood out more. You know what I miss most from Guild Wars 1 armor-wise is tattoo sets. Like, you could play as a Necro or a Monk and you'd have, like, tattoo sets. Do you guys remember tattoos? We don't really get that in Guild Wars 2. You missed the start of the last brand meta because I was doing hearts. Oh, rip. And anyway, none of this is discussions for or against. I'm just trying to demonstrate to you guys a very different... The shift. A slow boiling of the frog. All right? I don't know when we say boiling the frog, we mean it like derogatory, right? That's not what I mean, but... You wish you could get a cape? I mean, yeah... that reminds me, you know, another thing that frustrated me about Reddit the other day was people were talking about like it was a very serious, angry thread about things that Guild Wars 2 doesn't do, right? You know, there's been a lot of discussion about guild stuff on the scene lately. You know, some of that even I've invited. But someone was like, yeah, ArenaNet never had what we want. There are multiple serious things that this MMO still doesn't have. And, you know, maybe these were worthwhile discussions to have when there was no wardrobe and there was no proper skinning system and all that kind of stuff. I think that these discussions are getting less important as time goes by. But, you know, oh, the game's such a terrible place. It doesn't have X, Y, and Z. And someone was like, I don't know if that's true. It's got this, 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 and this. You know, it's got a good baseline of features now. The MMO's pretty extensive, wouldn't you say? And someone responded with capes. They were like, capes are still not in the game, ... This is an example of a serious thing that the game doesn't have that it should have had for ages, and we were expected to have for ages, and it is owed to us. And I'm like, what? You're owed capes? The success of Guild Wars 2 hinges on the addition or lack thereof of capes? Really? This is the world we live in? I mean, how hyperbolic is that? Pathify did give us capes, just weird ones. Did it now? Do you mean the like the banner things and stuff? You got tons of butt capes. What more do you want? No. Let me be clear. I actually do think we can have capes. I do want them to work out like a nice, happy little physics system where it doesn't clip and it nicely... You know, I think we could. I think even, hell, at this point, I want to see something really special because they never did legendary backpacks as capes, right? So what I want to see is friggin' a new gear slot added, right? Which is the cape slot. And you can have your back and you can have a cape under the back. And I want it to have nice physics and, you know, it flows properly. I always remember, it wasn't even that good in Guild Wars 1, but for the time when it came out, I remember being struck by the cloth physics and stuff. I want a proper, you know, go ham with it. Give us a real cape thing. I think there is space for capes. I don't think butt capes are enough. I don't think some of the backpacks. I don't think Warbringer is enough. I think we should, there is space in this game for real capes, and I'm on people's side with that. I like the idea of real capes. I like the idea of them going the whole hog, and let's do the Zombros event here. This is cool. We're gonna go see all the legendary weapons, guys. This is fun. I like all of that. That said, I'm on your side that we can get capes in this space. That said, it is not important, and don't pretend it is. That is what I would say. A major Revenant rework would be nice, but it's not a small patch. Guild Wars 1 didn't have capes, it had cardboard? Is that how you describe it? I do remember when I first played Guild Wars 1, certain technical aspects of the game were really striking. Here's a slowly being forgotten thing as well. Guild Wars 1 was a graphical rival on the scene of the day. It looked better than other MMOs. It looked better than its peers. It had that going for that. That was like a hallmark. That was a signature aspect of the franchise in its formative years. I would say so. Does anyone want to disagree with me there? In like 2006 when Prophecies comes out, or when Cantha came out and you had like those beautiful water physics and stuff, the game looked good. It always got compliments for that. And that was something that Guild Wars 2 could have carried forward, and I think it tried by going more of an artistic distinction rather than a technically distinct thing that really pushed your hardware and stuff. But so it's kind of fallen away as far as Guild Wars 2 is concerned. But that was also kind of a thing that Guild Wars 1 would sell copies on, you know. If you were reading a Guild Wars 1 review, it would be that, you know, that would be a big part of it. This game looks beautiful, blah, blah, blah. That's not such a big aspect of this game. So that's interesting to have seen that fall away to an extent. And I mean, I'm not saying this game's ugly, and we talked about this before, and I think it can stand up to its competitors, but it doesn't like blow them away as there was a general impression. And yeah, so back to this cape thing. I remember playing early on, and I remember having a terrible graphics card originally, and all the water looked horrible, like really bad. And then I remember finally when we got a good graphics card, because I used to play with my older brother still at that point, and when we got a good graphics card and how amazing the water looked, and it was really mind-blowing, and the Jade Sea and how good that looked when you really bumped it up. Oh, it was incredible. I'm not saying there weren't better looking single player games and stuff, obviously, right? But, and yeah, like the cloth physics and stuff, I remember being struck by that. Obviously, we wouldn't be by today's standards. Stop Taking My Name too says, Wood and Potatoes. Oh, I'm going to get so much hate right now, but the reason I didn't buy Guild Wars 1 back in the day was because it was so much uglier than the rival. WoW, which I like the look of much more. Yeah, like, they had different art styles, right? WoW had kind of a more cartoony look. I don't think that that's unfair to say at all. And it kind of had that Blizzard thing going on with it. While Guild Wars went for a realistic look. I do believe in that. I really do. This is quite cool with a big Zerg. There's lots of embers around. Someone's playing a healing build right now, and I'm liking it. Have you seen the Sanctuary changing over the course of the quest? No, not really, actually. Should I go back and see it now? What do you guys think about Stop Taking My Name too there? Saying that Guild Wars 1's ugly. Everything you lost in the Mystic Forge is behind that door. Everything. Ectos, Mystic Coins, everything. Time to get it all back. All I've seen in there is legendary weapons. Does he have like a stash of Mystic Coins in there as well? That would be cool. You like spell effects in Guild Wars 1? Reminds me of Morrowind, which I don't really like them too much. I think they got a lot better later when stuff like Ray of Judgment had its rework and that started looking a lot prettier. But I don't really remember skill effects looking that good back then. I was watching some old Guild Wars 2 playlist the other day, and I got to your puzzle videos with Mike. So whatever happened to Magic Mike and you? Well, I've been in a bit more contact with Mike recently. Not too much, though. I don't know how much he plays the game at the moment. I mean, that series ended because we ran out of puzzles, really. And by the time they started adding more puzzles, we were doing different things on the website. And we didn't really talk so much in the guild. And I moved to other guilds and things. Yeah, Ray of Judgment. That idea of running a full team of everybody running Ray of Judgment, and like Echo, Arcane Echo. Echo, Arcane Echo, Ray... Oh, no, wait. It couldn't be because it was an elite, wasn't it? So it would just be Arcane Echo, Ray of Judgment. It's not about looking good. It's about looking just ugly enough. Unidentified Jinn artifact. Oh, this is for the event. Of course it is. I feel an unknown force watching me. Bring these to Flynn deep inside. This is such a cool event. I really like this. I haven't talked about this event enough, but I really enjoyed this event. This was one of the highlights for me in all of Abbey. Such a great experience. And yeah, so that's the forge up there. Look at that. Look at just showering stuff down. And here's all the legendaries. Thing is, these are just the core legendaries. I don't know. Does he have the season? I mean, I guess what they probably quite intelligently decided to just have the core legendaries here, because what that means is it's not weird. Like in a year from now, when they've added was I dying because I was holding the artifact? I don't really know what was going on there. In like a year from now, when they've added another 6 or 7, it won't look weird that they're not here, because this is just the Gen 1 ones, so it makes sense, you know. They've got a complete set here. What's your favourite Path of Fire specialization so far? Anything I like better than the Heart of Thorns ones? I like most of my opinions would be from the demo weekend, and yeah, I think Spellbreaker was a lot of fun. I like Deadeye for what it stands for, its efficacy aside. A lot of people will only answer that question based on their efficacy, and even worse, they'll only do it based on their strength in raiding. But you know, raiding is one thing I do a week for about 2 to 3 hours. That's it. The rest of my game time, I'm not raiding, And I found a lot of value in a lot of the Elite specializations so far, but I haven't played enough of them since it came out to really be able to talk too much about it. But from the demo, yeah, I like the look of a lot of them, actually. Would you consider Guild Wars 1 something to go back and experience at some point? I never played it, and I've wondered what the original game was like at points. Listen, man, you are number 1,000 to ask this question. Congratulations, you win. Sweet F8. You are. A lot of people ask this, and I give the same answer every time. In fact, I've given this answer so many times, I'm going to invite chat to tell you what my answer is. So chat, what do I recommend War Saint 87 should do? He's vaguely interested in going back to Guild Wars 1. What is the Wooden Potatoes recommendation? And it's a good one, let me just say. So let's hear it. Tell him, chat, and I'll confirm or deny if they get it right. Refund Guild Wars 2. No, that's not it. Play with a friend. Yeah, but what else? Give me more. Oh, Yggdrasil says, get a friend and some pizza 1 night a week. There you go. And maybe a beer too. There you go. Yeah, Ink's got it in full. You should get a friend and some pizza/beer and play together. That is the way to go back to Guild Wars 1. Seriously. And if you're looking for a friend, if you're lonely, if you're, you know, you're a bit like me and you don't really interact with people, but you also, unfortunately, don't have a YouTube following and so on, in that situation, don't worry, I've got a Lonely Hearts channel on my Discord server where you can go in and meet like-minded individuals. No, we don't have a Lonely Hearts channel, but we do have a Guild Wars 1 channel. And if you go to our Discord, you can go and type in that Guild Wars 1 thing and you say, listen, guys, I know nothing about Guild Wars 1. I'm interested in the lore. Who wants to meet up Tuesday nights? We'll order Dominoes. We'll get in Discords and we'll chat shit and play the game together and we'll learn it together. Honestly, I feel some real excitement at that prospect. I would be excited for anyone doing that. Logging in, choosing your character, deciding what your primary profession is, visiting pre-searing and going slowly, choosing a secondary a little later, not having to worry about guides and all that stuff, just learning the skills and then going through prophecies. I mean, just play for a few hours each week. That would be the shit, my friends, honestly. And you can you can turn it into like a pizza party thing. You can have pepperoni the first week. You can have meat feast the next, Hawaiian the next. Make a new friend. Trust me, it'll be good. And all Lonely Hearts have a place in the Spud Discord. Or whatever you want where you live. That's the way to play Guild Wars 1. I'm telling you now, that's the way to play it. And regions don't matter. None of that matters. This event took ages, high scale. Did you guys notice? There are servers for Asian territory. Oh, or maybe they closed those down actually at this point. Sounds gay. Only Guild Wars 3 is manly. Look, I've known some very manly gay guys in my time, okay? I reckon I could get them into Guild Wars 1. So, yeah. In before pineapple pizza debate. Look, I only said Hawaiian. I deliberately left it at Hawaiian just so that people wouldn't acknowledge the fact that I'm actually recommending pineapple pizza right now. The headmaster opened his eyes, and there he saw, smiling down on him, was an envoy. Wow, what a great cliffhanger. I can't wait for the next episode of your Guild Wars recap. By the way, when is it coming out? It is still coming out, right? Are you being serious? Or have you just recently watched that? That's so nice of you. Listen. I'm going to make you a promise here. Oh, can I make a... No, I'm not going to make a promise. But listen, if it does become apparent that we're going to Cantha at any point soon, it will be something I pick up. I promise. It will be something I pick up. One of my big regrets at the moment is I started Patreon. When I started Patreon, whatever. I said, listen, if I get enough money on this, I can actually spend some money on artists and things. But I quickly found, that I don't really have the spare income I was hoping to invest in a series that I'll never get a return on investment on, right? But B, paying for artists is expensive. So I found some things that have sort of slowed it down a bit. And I'm not quite sure how I'd want to do it. But I know that if the devs ever do make it clear we're going back to Cantha, the time will be right to look back at that. I'm a little insecure about the series, just a little bit, because it's been so long since I scripted it. I wonder if I've lost my talent for it, first of all, for presenting the lore in terms of the way I voice it, but also writing and not going too deep. But also, there's one comment that has always stuck out to me, and this is kind of pathetic and insecure, and I openly admit it. But I had one person, this was like years ago now, but it still sits with me. That series started very much bare bones facts, right? And it was very factual, and it was very cut to the meat kind of thing. And it was, this is a YouTube video teaching you lore about a game. That's how it started. But as the series went on, I really started to have fun. I realized that it was a platform for me to retell the stories in a way ArenaNet was never capable. Because it's not just a problem with Guild Wars 2 that it has a great backstory and lore, but struggles with its implementation. It was a problem for Guild Wars 1. A lot of those stories sound a lot better than they were. And so I realized I had this platform to tell the stories in a good way. And I kind of made it my mission. So it stopped being, this is a YouTube series about teaching you lore. And it became, hey, I want to tell this story. I want to be a writer. It kind of became that, you know. And so it became a lot more emotive. And it became more, there was more narration. And there was more like, and it got more bloated. And, you know, I was very proud of it for a long time. And so it got to the point where that episode, that quote you just gave, there he stood, was an envoy. You know, I'm telling a story there, right? That's a short film style thing there that's going on. That is not the same as Ascalon is the land where humans live and the Char attack them. You know, it's very different. And I had a comment, so this insecure, pathetic thing, is I had a comment a few years ago where someone said, wow, I can't believe how bloated this series got. It used to be about the facts, and now it's just full of this extra crap, basically. And it was someone who was watching the series, and they didn't like that I'd sort of... I think the comment was, this series sort of disappeared up its own arse. You know, a bit like Stephen Moffat disappearing up his own arse when it comes to season 4 of Sherlock. There, I said it. You know, and I don't want to have disappeared up my own arse. I don't want to have become too pretentious about it and believe that I can make people cry while they're watching my video series. And I don't want to disappear up my own arse, and I'm scared that I did, and so now, and that's debased me a little, and so I'm kind of insecure about returning to it, because it's like, do I have the talent for it? But also, was I losing perspective back then? So I'm gonna have to do, it's actually you won't believe this, but it's a scary prospect for me. When Cantha, if Cantha is revealed to be a thing from ArenaNet, I'm going to have a moment where I sit down and I watch my own series as it was years ago and make a 2018, 2019, 2017 Wood and Potatoes impression of it. And I'm going to assess my own work and critique my own work and then find a way to carry it on. And that's a bit scary. What if I find I hate it? What if I find I love it and no longer have the confidence that I can pull it off in the way I'd want to? What if it brings back all these memories of project management and so on, of how it was? You know, it's all a bit intimidating, but I want to do it, so you'll see me do it. Why do faux fire shoulders have freaking candles on top? What the fuck? Why? Man, I don't know, because it looks pretty. Let's get this Hydra again while we're basically just faffing about waiting for the meta here. Can someone help me out at Hanging Gardens? I accidentally summoned 4 champion Jin. 9 minutes left to kill them. Wow. I do feel like something like that, it's pathetic at all. If you feel that it hurts you or touches you in a way, it's a thing. No, I think it is a little pathetic. You know, I'm adult enough to understand that. I think, yeah, you know, if you've done something creative, you should be proud of doing something creative, right? You shouldn't be so bogged down in what one random person on the internet thinks of your work. You know, you shouldn't be so obsessed. It's an insecurity. It's a weakness of character, and I think it is to an extent a bit pathetic for me to be hung up many years later from an idle comment from what could ultimately have been, you know, an uncultured swine or something. Why does their opinion matter so much? I think that, you know, you need some strength and confidence at some point. I like this one because this is quite hard, but then he turns around and runs into the Zerg and should be dismounted. There we go. Nice. Did anyone see branded Choya? I was looking, couldn't find any. I saw plenty of branded locations. Are they resistant to branded? I think sometimes it's not really about lore, but did the devs have the time to do it? You know, to create the asset for it. And maybe if there's no branded Choya, it could be that. I don't think we should be looking very deeply at Choya as though there's some massive part of this story. Personally. I mean, I can't really do much here. Uncultured swine. Are we talking about World vs. World now? Why are World vs. World as uncultured? WP's using Arc. Hello, B-boy. Oh, Flag, can you message me and tell me if I'm doing the lottery giveaway on stream, please? Because I missed your response earlier. Sorry about that. Our brains are wired to remember negative feedback more than positive. It's just a human thing. It's neither pathetic nor anything else. So, no, I think it is pathetic, but it's also okay to admit that you're pathetic sometimes. That I guess is my stance. It's human to be pathetic. Being human does not mean you are not pathetic. This is a weird. What is? I honestly wonder if I'd watch my own streams. Like, what is this? Yes, if possible, at the end of the stream. Else, I will just close it myself and announce the winners in Discord. Oh no, no, let's not do that. Okay, guys. So listen, everybody. We do a lottery, right? And we're going to be doing the giveaway today here. We don't do them very frequently anymore. If you want to win 4,573 Ecto, you can still buy into it right now. And at the end of this stream, I will give those away. So be aware that that's happening. There's a link in chat. All you got to do is click it. You can go for it. There's still time to get in. And we're going to draw for it. So you could win. So 4,000 Ectos. How many stacks is that? What's 4,000 divided by 250? It's 8 stacks, is it? No, is it 16 stacks of Ectos? I don't know. I'm getting my factor is off by a certain value. Not enough. Well, the more people that join, the higher it goes. So if you don't feel it's enough, maybe it will be by the time the drawing's done. It's 18 stacks. Yeah, so it was 16 plus 2. Yeah, I've never claimed to be a mathematician. Alright, so how long to the meta? And what can we do to kill some time in the meantime? Oh no, we're out of content, guys. Path of Fire is dead. DED, baby. Let's do an adventure. I want to do the... Oh, maybe I'll save those for tomorrow's streams. Listen, tomorrow's streams, I want to do all the adventures as well. So in that way, we've on stream showed off all the bounties, all the metas, all the adventures. Except the Griffin ones, which I'll be doing once I get the Griffin, which I anticipate getting either today or tomorrow. Depends. I think I've got a shit ton of collectibles in my bank I can sell, so it's all right. What's my account name? It doesn't matter. You can use my character name, LYS. I did go back to the Sanctuary once. I've done 3 of the Open Skies so far, and I did go back once, and it was pretty nice. So, by the way, here's one of my places. One of my favorite places in the X-Pack. I talked about it in one of the VODs, but screw it. We got some time. This is so cool. This is so Guild Wars 1 to me. Tie-Hawk or not the Tie-Hawk mission. Well, yeah, both. But the one where the corruption of Nightfall is coming through here. This is so nice seeing this and running along here. You know, a Guild Wars 1 character like moves at like what speed would they move at? The run speed I think is too fast already. Maybe run speed isn't too fast. Maybe this is how slow we moved. Look at how beautiful this pond is now, though. Alright, so basically, we've got the tree up there, and the portal's in the tree, and that's where we're going. And what it's going to do is it's going to teleport us into a secret place, which I'll show you. How many bags of potatoes would you say you buy each week/month? None. I don't really eat potatoes. Sorry. Whoa, I've never been in this. Oh, this is the wishing well. This is where you throw a coin, right? Make a wish. Offer up a gold coin and see what it says. Oh, I got a... Oh. No, I got a golden wish. Inventory's full. Yeah, I don't really buy potatoes. You get the impression from these streams that I buy a lot because they're in the face cams, but one, a lot of those are fan cams. Two, I just made a bunch in bulk ages ago now. Yeah, why is it the same icon? I know, that's a bit cheesy, isn't it? Probably unbuffed run speed, but we're so used to having perma swiftness. Yeah, or if not perma swiftness, 25% modifiers, yeah. So yeah, above, right? That's a super secret special room up there. So the question is, how do you get there? Well, you might think that there's portal, but the portal just takes you out. And you can fly around on top and there's a way in, but the way we do it, right? And it's up there. The way we do it is we need to get into the tree over there. And to get into the tree, I can't remember how I did it, but I think I'm going to go from the side. That reaction to the icon, that's why they did it. Yeah, I can see that, yeah. Alright, so I think... How about we climb up this? Do you reckon the Springer can make that jump? If it can't, there's a staircase nearby. Yes, I know I can bind buttons, people. Before you say... I know I can bind buttons. Oof, that's close. All right. This is so nice. Oh, we almost fell. And then we can go in. Voila! Praise Joko, baby. Look at how good this place looks. This is so... so colourful. And it's not that I've saturation bumped massively on Reshade. It's not. Or Guild Wars 2 hookers, I should say. I'm a bit sad. Grenba hasn't responded to my messages lately, so I'm sad. I'm scared that he's had his fill of POF and now he's left. I knew that, like, the programming talent that was coming to the scene with POF would disappear after it was out. I knew it would, and I'm really scared that he's gone. I'm not saying he has gone, and I'm not saying he's welcome to spend his free time however he wants to. But I was really hoping for some more updates on Guild Wars 2 Hook, like the disabling of outlines and some of the other features. Anyway, this place looks really cool. And there's another similar portal thing as well, which, since we're killing time, I'll show you as well. It's kind of near the Griffin Sanctuary, actually. We're going to go this way. Hey, can you open the lottery so it gets updated quicker? Importing isn't that fast. So you want me to open the lottery in my browser tab flag, do you? Okay. Sorry, guys. Just give me 1 second. So let me browse to my Spud folder, then the lottery folder. You want me to open back end or front end? I'll open the back end. Does that really speed it up? I didn't realize Google Sheets worked like that. You love how we need to use all the different mounts to get to those locations? Until you get the Griffin, and then it's just... You know, I've seen the Griffin effortlessly climb up too many things that you were supposed to have the Springer for. Also, I can't think of anything the Jackal... Except these portals. I can't think of anything the Jackal does that the Griffin can't match. What is wrong with me? How do I... I want to get out. Let's go this way, I guess. Rounding up. We'll try and go through the door over there. Just yesterday, Grenba told me he's still working on Guild Wars 2 Hook. Oh, that's good. Okay, maybe we just missed each other's Discord messages then. That's good. I'm glad. Yeah, I know in terms of land speed. I know that. I meant like in terms of Metroidvania, like and area access. I know obviously that the Jackals are really good ATV, shall we say. Alright, can we get out up here? I know I can waypoint as well, but I'm kind of loath to open the map. This is great, by the way, here in this heart, because what you can do is you can come to the chef. Here you go. We can get the chili pepper powder. I need this. Give me... I'll spend some money for it. And then we can come over to the Choya with the chili pepper powder. And then... Don't judge me for my inventory, please. I will get the bigger bags. And then we can spray it and make them all go mental. Yeah! And then people can kill them for heart progress. And it's the best thing in the world. I still live. I fell asleep again because of your soothing voice. Wake up and it's still WP time. Oh, dude, you fell asleep? Really? I thought I saw a message from you. Not like 5 minutes ago. Oh, I didn't know that one. Thank you. Yeah, no worries, man. No, this is what I mean about the hearts in POF. There's loads going on with them. It's good. All right, so we're basically going to go over here now. You kind of wish that the sand portal had more of a lore reason for existing, like the jackals creating them or something. Instead of just sort of randomly being around. I can understand you saying that. It's not something I'd really thought of, but yeah, I think you're okay. Like the Heart of Thorns equivalent, like New Hawk Wallows, kind of had built into them more of a justifiable reason why they were there, right? So that leads me to an interesting discussion. Guys, let's talk about this. Path of Fire's been out for a while now, and I don't hear people talking about it. I don't catch myself thinking about it much. Where are we settled now? Now that most of us have got all the mounts and done all the masteries, how do you feel about the lack of Heart of Thorns mastery use in the expansion? And especially with the Griffin added to this discussion, you know, the complete abandonment, essentially, of gliding among all the others. Before Path of Fire came out, there were some, I think, fairly strong discussions here about, like, the mastery system is about giving us more post-AT progression, meaningful progression. Is it really meaningful if it's only going to last for a year or two while that expansion's out, and then we're just going to move on from it? It's never going to mean anything. Is it really? Isn't that a slap in the face to the idea of masteries? You know, and I think there's something to latch onto there. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Path of Fire is a worse product for not having those, or were those fears overblown maybe? Because I have to say, you know, if I've not been thinking about it much, and if the community's not been talking about it much, maybe we were just crying foul over nothing. So what you got? You can't use Griffins in updrafts, so gliding is still important and not so replaced with Heart of Thorns, though, but there's not a single updraft in Path of Fire, so the discussion goes further than that. And to say that gliding only had value when there was an updraft, and the majority value of gliding and fun of gliding had nothing to do with updrafts is I think, incredibly deceptive. Updrafts, in context, are a very small part of this whole discussion. The fact is, most of the time when you would have glided before now, instead you're going to Griffin fly. And it has been usurped. Calamari says Path of Fire masteries are way too concentrated on mounts and way too fast to finish. That's fair, but I don't think, and you know, we can talk about that, but I don't think that that's this discussion, is it? That's a different discussion. What about the specific aspect of Heart of Thorns masteries have been thrown away? What about that? Can glide in combat? That's the only difference? Question mark. That's a good thing to talk about. There's also, though, the thing of if you're falling in combat, people glide until and then stealth glide to break combat and then immediately mount anyway, right? So even then, you don't glide. Even then, gliding is being replaced, yeah, because. So check this out, right? Behind this sandfall, we get this portal. We take the portal, and we end up at the Hanging Gardens. Oh, okay. And we're in this amazing, massive protected area by the Jinn, in branded territory. I think there's a riddle we can answer daily as well here. Is this the guy? Grandmaster Elder Jinn. I am Amin. I have lived for 1,000 years, guarding my fellow Jinn. This place is under my protection, and it remains unharmed by the magic of the crystal the crystal dragon. Sorry. Do you think we'll find that the Jinn have created even more safe havens as we progress into branded territory in Season 4? Anyway, so from in here, you'll find there is another sand portal somewhere. I think it's down here. So yeah, there's 4 portals. Is there 4 portals, or is there just 1? 2? There's 2 portals? Okay. And ooh, where are we now, guys? Ooh. I love this. I really love this. I think this is so cool. All right. And so, We're going to stand here and we're going to watch what people do. So they go through their portals. Which way do we go? Oh, I'm spinning around. Oh, okay. All right. I have absolutely no idea now which one I came from. Do you guys know which one I came from? This would have been a cool place if they could have done that Cordicus spinning room thing, you know, from Lake Doric. So let's pick a portal. Oh, we chose right. Oh, snap. That's cool. All right. So, oh, we spin it around. Oh, we chose right again. All right, and now this one. Oh, we messed up. So you've got to get the right portals. So forward is wrong. Left is wrong. Okay, so right is correct. So we go right, then forward is wrong. Okay, so we go right, then we go left, then we go forward. Yeah, and then we get to the end. That looks cool. I want to climb up there, and we get the vista. All right, so what's this? If you're in combat and need to escape while gliding, gliding is always nice to have and no fall damage while falling. I mean, yes, I did. So you guys think that like niche scenario, as far as Path of Fire gameplay is concerned, I would say that's a niche scenario. And I would say updrafts and ley lines and stuff are niche scenarios as far as Path of Fire is concerned. You guys think, though, because of the existence of that niche scenario, this means that gliding is still every bit as fun and meaningful and blah, blah, blah as it ever was. And Path of Fire hasn't trod on its toes anyway. If that is the discussion at hand, I think that is not realistic. And don't forget, I wanted to have a broader discussion, not just about gliding. Yes, you can weasel into these little, you know, safe havens when it comes to gliding and make these cases that gliding is still every bit as thingy. But that's a bastion, fine. But what about the other ones? How do we feel about... And again, let me just be clear. I'm being devil's advocate to promote discussion. I'm not saying that the game's bad and blah, 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 and they've made all these terrible discussions. I want to see what people think. What about these other things? What about there's no exalted assistance? What about there are no Nuhawk Wallows? What about there are no speed mushrooms or adrenal mushrooms? Or what about... Christ, if you want some real... and where I'm actually starting to think sincerely about things. What about the fact that we don't get to use Draconis Mon's slingshots anywhere? Or the Kodan braziers, since they were added? Was it not... Discuss, right? Essay, write an essay. Talk to me about this. Was it not Path of Fire's job to inherit the functionality of those and give people who played, should players who bought both expansions and played in all those years in between not have opportunities to play with those toys? Discuss. Yeah. How can you join the guild? Check out Discord. Path of Fire Mastery is a progression for the entire game, but Hearthorn's one's lock away stat sets, which are some of the best in the game. I use the 5th down skill all the time. That still counts as a Hearthorn's Mastery, right? Yeah, that was the Lake Doric Mastery, right? So I think that's fair. I mean, and what do we think about that? Is that right? Is it right that one episode of Living World Season 3 has a mastery that is applicable everywhere except raids, while all the other ones aren't? Is that right? What about these raiding ones? You know, and there are very strong arguments for why these should never be used elsewhere, because some players fundamentally don't want to participate in that. And, you know, that they must be listened to because Guild Wars has to be a casual game and all those kind of things. Oh, I got the Riddle of the Spellbreaker. Nice. And I'm not saying those are right or wrong discussions, but, yeah. Let's keep going. You can glide in World versus World, so it's still meaningful. Calamari believes that Hearthorn's Mastery should be offering alternative ways to reach places in Path of Fire for players with both expansion packs. And there have been places where gliding has helped me in Path of Fire. I'll give you an example. I was getting Lost Lore of the Crystal Desert, and I had to glide from the top of one of these Joko things to the top of this. I did a big glide like this, and I glided for that. Without gliding, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. You can put them in meaningfully and still sell Path of Fire as a standalone. You would need Heart of Thorns to be able to use them. And do you believe that dichotomy actually exists? Do you believe we're in that binary situation where to give any use to Heart of Thorns masteries is also to make them required? Do you not believe in middle grounds with this? I believe in middle grounds, and I think that a middle ground was hit with gliding. Lore-wise, it feels logical to not reuse things like the bouncing mushrooms in the desert, in your opinion. Do you believe it's impossible for them to have added a little cave, a marshy cave in the Ellen Riverlands where mushrooms grew and bandits stood around them? And there's like one adrenal mushroom in the corner of these damp, wet environments. You think that that's impossible in lore? Do you think it's impossible that they could have put Exalted Assistance in Kesha? Or at the lair of the Glint's lair? Or the lair of the Forgotten? You don't believe that Exalted Assistance could have been dropped in here or there? You don't believe that in the mountainous areas there might not have been a traveling Kodan who gives us his brazier? You think these are hard lines that could not have been crossed by the developers? I think that that's a fairly flimsy thing, actually. I think it's very easy to write in justifications. I think lore is one of the worst arguments you can say. Kesh is supposed to be turned off, so Exalted Assistance shouldn't work there. Don't we reactivate stuff, though? And again, lore is malleable. They didn't have to write it that Kesha was turned off. We could have restored power to various areas of Kesha, thus enabling, which we do, right? And it activates the bad ones. So I'm not quite sure I buy that either. These are simple barriers, I think. Not all of the Exalted. We find a regular Exalted in there. Maybe ArenaNet are going to add opportunities to use Heart of Thorns later under the idea that players who have bought these techniques and idea that the desert and taught them to the people there very unlikely. I mean, there's a fun... I don't know where I really sit with this, whether it's actually that important, but I do enjoy, and I think there is merit to that idea that, fundamentally, masteries shouldn't be ephemeral, temporary things, right? And it's weird as well because I can't imagine the Path of Fire mount-based masteries ever just going away in the way that Exalted Assistance has gone away and so on, right? Like, and the bouncing mushrooms have gone away. I can't imagine these mounts ever going away. And that leads us into another thing, like, should that disparity exist? I have to be honest, I wonder if Path of Fire... What do you guys think about this? Path of Fire does mounts and lets us bond with mounts and lets us train mounts and increase the capabilities of mounts and all of that stuff. But that is not a mastery system thing. And instead, Path of Fire could have done its own set of masteries, more in line with what we saw in Season 3 in Heart of Thorns. So that there was a more consistent approach. Because we all know that, just as the gliding abilities were unlocked in Bloodstone Fen without having to rely on the mastery system, so too could mount acquisition and mastery access be offered without being tied to the mastery system. That's a very verbose sentence I just said there, but hopefully we're all on the same page. I'm not the biggest fan of the mastery system in its current form. I sadly don't have good feedback on how to improve it right now either. To be honest, Path of Fire masteries don't do much at all. They make the mount better, but you get the mount without training any of the masteries, which changes the gameplay. Is the mount itself, the mastery has little effect on it at all. If we use Metroidvania as a template, it's like expansions of new games. Some abilities transition over, but overall you lose some that are thematic to the previous game area. That's a nice idea. What do you think about next expansion then? That leads us into other exciting territories of thought. What's going to happen, guys? Are we going to have these mounts disabled to preserve this... this mentality? So we say, okay, the Heart of Thorns ones aren't really used in Path of Fire, but that's okay because it's like a blank slate. It's a new game. All right, fine. That might undermine masteries, but maybe that's the route they want to go. Okay, so next expansion. Do we lose all the mounts? I can't imagine that ever happening myself, practically speaking. Do you get what? Do you see how, like, I don't know, I get this impression from Guild Wars design and these systems and things that the devs don't think long term on many things. I don't know. You know, like what they did with resonating slivers and stuff. It's like they don't. I don't know. It feels like stuff isn't deliberated on. And it's like, fuck it, it's fun, so let's just do it. What matters is just putting fun stuff in. Let's not think about it. Let's not have the meetings. Let's just put it in there. Go on. Throw it out there. And it's weird. Does anyone else get that impression sometimes? And I'm not saying that's unprofessional. There's maybe merit to that. But I get that impression a lot. It's because they're making a Guild Wars 3, obviously, guys. So it doesn't matter anymore. It's the same as Blade and Soul or whatever it was. Rift adding taxis as mounts. That's the exact impression I get of the devs every time I watch your stream. Really? Every stream? Oh, God. They're not afraid because of Guild Wars 3. There you go. Everybody's on the same page here. Unlikely to have mounts disabled as gliding and downskill 5 work in Path of Fire, but they could limit movement with map design like they've added invisible walls. Easy fix to the mount problem. No exotic mounts allowed in Cantha. So are you saying that a lore justification is all that is needed to take people's toys away from them? I think that the lore justifications are not the primary concern, not the secondary concern, not even the tertiary concern. I think lore can be bent over the desk and molded however you want it to justify the way that the game works. Lore always takes a backseat to mechanics, and that comes from a lore fanatic. I really do believe that. So like, oh yeah, the people of Cantha are xenophobic, so they won't let us ride mounts. Fine, it doesn't matter to me. The idea, oh, you can't have mounts in Corteria. Yeah, because we can say, you know, the mounts, they're out of their element. They don't know how to survive out of the desert. I don't care about whatever constructed justification they have for the flavor of why this or that mechanic exists. It doesn't matter. What matters is the design itself. And somehow I don't believe, as well formulated and agreeable the lore is to justify why we don't get mounts in Expansion 3, should they go with that, somehow I don't believe, no matter how well designed that is, and it will make it feel, it will make it any less of a bitter pill for your average Guild Wars 2 player when they're told no more Griffin for you. But, you know, this whole discussion, going back to it, right? I opened this conversation with a comment, and that was that I don't think about it much. I don't think about it much. The fact that I don't get exalted assistants or mushrooms and stuff, I thought that that was something I'd want a lot of. And it was one of my early, like, anticipated criticisms. But I don't think about it much. So, you know, when we go back to that original comment, and I think about that, maybe if Expansion 3 takes my Skimmer away, and my Griffin away, and my X and my Y, maybe it will be the same, and I won't think about it much. Maybe it doesn't matter because I'll be having fun on my Siege Turtle and my my crab and my my white person that I ride about on. I don't know. You go what I mean, right? I don't know what I'm going for there, like some kind of like human mount because there's lots of people there, right? And they're all xenophobic and they're all. You know. But you get what I mean, right? They're riding around on people like slaves. You know when you see people. You know, like that idea of a king that's sitting on a throne that's being carried on the backs of several other people. That's going to be a mount in Cantha, right? Because, you know, they're all believe in subverting other races. As much as I hate the Griffin, making travel too fast, could you imagine going through Kaineng on a Griffin, the Akavald Forest? You mean that positively? You're saying, how badass would that be? Yeah, you know, I believe that those things are fun. I believe flying the Griffin anywhere interior is fun. I don't think anyone should ever question that. It's fun. Of course it's fun. The question is, it's fun at what cost, right? I mean, I think my belief about this stuff is those things are fun and they should be allowed to be done, but I believe they should have resources attached to them. I believe playtime in those experiences should be limited. But we live in a world now where durability is on weapons is a criticism of Zelda Breath of the Wild, not something to be adored. You know, and gaming is moving away from that kind of stuff, I believe, more than anything else. So I don't know. Let's do this thing over here. I'm still just waiting for this to change. Serpent's Eye are up here. I'm just watching for it. Making the mastery system into a tree structure, and mastery points are limited resources where you cannot unlock the entire tree, but able to distribute points to unlock mastery skills. For example, in Path of Fire maps, you distribute your points towards mounts, but you wouldn't be able to have enough points for gliding, so you'd have to... So you're talking about like an attribute kind of thing. That's a very different kind of mastery system. I don't know whether they'll do it, though. They're so adverse to... I mean, here's kind of the gross thing to think about. If the mastery system went through a big change, isn't that like a pretty abominable admission of failure on the part of Heart of Thorns? Heart of Thorns was supposed to get that stuff right. It was supposed to get elite specializations and masteries and all that stuff right out of the gate. It was laying the foundation. No more iterate, revamp. This is the game. This is how we build on it. And to have to go back and change the mastery system. The thing is, here's what I actually think. Despite everything we're saying here, and all the problems with the mastery system, it's adequate. And I think that's the great shame in all of this. It's adequate. Isn't it adequate? I don't think we can argue it's not adequate. And as an adequate system, it will sort of just be there in mediocrity forevermore. And weird, incongruent design and oddness will just be a thing that's born from it. And maybe that's a failing all of its own in Heart of Thorns. We're going to go to the Griffin Sanctuary, which I've not shown off ever. What's this here? How do you think people would respond if Cantha didn't take away mounts, but offered different skinned mounts that offer the same mechanics as those in Path of Fire? For example, the Griffin is a dragon. I don't see what that adds. I don't see the point in that. Oh, unless you're saying you start the expansion with none, and then you slowly reacquire them, and they're basically the same thing, but they have different skins that makes them lore. And I see where you're coming at with that. I feel like it would be okay, and it would address some of the problems in that they would get to give a real experience that's not immediately bypassed by too much stuff and blah blah blah. But I also think that they'd be accused of being lazy there, and I don't think that's particularly marketable. So I don't know whether it's really good. How do we climb up? I don't actually remember how I climbed up before. Maybe we'll keep exploring the bottom. So I don't know fully about that. You know, there's another thing as well. This is all kind of vaguely negative, and there's lots of assumptions that are being thrown around that suggest it's all bad. One thing I think is worth saying, and the optimists out there will love this. All right. So here's one for you optimists. You know what could be happening? It's just the devs have confidence that they can design, through Living World Season 4, maps that thrive and work well, even when our initial exploration of them is an exploration. Come on, it's striking so fast right now, and I don't know why I have slow on me. Oh my god, this is like infuriating. Do I have slow because the... Oh, come on, I was pressing it. There we go. Maybe they're confident they can make Living World Season 4 maps that are just good. They don't care if you have the Griffin because the maps are good. And if it's not perfect out the gate, then fine. They got 2 years of lessons to learn in Living World to make better and better and better ones. And it doesn't matter. None of this matters. By the time Cantha comes out, by the time Cogs of War comes out and the Blood Legion Homelands, whatever... It doesn't matter because they've perfected it. There is such a thing as an excellent initial guild. You know, Path of Fire was all about return to exploration, blah, blah, blah. We're going to make exploring Guild Wars 2 good again. They're going to figure out how to make exploration at warp speed via Griffin and all these other things. They're going to make it work because it's fun. And they already know this. So there's something for the optimists. What do you guys buy that? Who out there buys that? Type a 1 in chat if you buy that. It's actually going to be amazing. That every map they add, I don't care if I've got the Griffin already. I'll walk around the first time I do this heart or that heart. It's going to be awesome. And every map can have every mount and new ones as well. Oh, let's redo that. Type a 1 if you agree, 2 if you disagree. Otherwise, we're just going to get a bunch of 1s and there'll be no... So that's you know, that's a valid thing. You know, we don't all have to be negative all the time. I have to be honest. I'm a very cynical person in a lot of ways, and I am cynical to that. But it's nice to acknowledge. Disable Griffin until you have map completion. Now, that's a fun one to think about as well, but also a weird one because it kind of elevates map completion beyond its current station, you know. And I think they've always been scared to do that. So here we have a road, you'll see, and it suggests a route to the Baddock Caverns and off into the distance. This could be our entrance to Corner one day, guys. And it would kind of make sense if this is our entrance to Corner because it puts people right next to the Griffin. So very few people miss it. I guess we'll revisit this during raids. How will masteries work with optional achievement areas? Choices such as bouncy mushroom versus spring and bounce. Or will they do stuff like adrenal mushrooms that path the fire? See, don't they have on the website that you need both POF and Heart of Thorns because both might be used in raids? Didn't they have that on the website? I will ride my jackal everywhere. Whenever possible, now and forever. I wouldn't be mad if they take it away in newer maps, but I'll admit I won't walk unmounted if I can go mounted. Yeah, and I'll openly admit to that too. You know, I like many others, I destroy my own enjoyment at the more shallow benefit of efficiency in game time, right? I'm not going to walk around when everyone else is charging around on mounts. Or I'm not going to walk around. I'm not going to mount. I'm not going to be on a jackal when everyone else is charging around on the Griffin. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. There's kind of another discussion that was sort of under the surface, and I was wondering if it was going to bubble into any kind of controversy, and maybe it will in the future. Has anyone had experiences in the Silverweight? I mean, on this stream, they're not. Everyone's going to be a fan of the game this stream, and they're going to own the expansion. But there's kind of another fun thing to talk about, and that's... I'm a free-to-play player, and I want a Silverwaste chest farm. I want to do Reba, but all these assholes are riding around on bunnies at warp speed. I can't keep up with them. I'm not getting any tags. I want to do a Frostgorge champ train. I want to, you know, because it's the bonus maps are giving me giant's eyes and stuff, but I can't keep up with people. Has anyone had that experience? That's also something I'm curious about. An example of gliding right here, by the way. Path of Fire gliding has been of a benefit to me. The brand meta starts in 1 minute. Oh, does it now? Alright, well there you go. The sanctuary's just over there, so. Where do we start for this? Draw out Forgotten Zealots. Slay veteran or higher ranked branded monsters to raise the ire of the branded Forgotten Zealots and lure them out of hiding. High ranking branded slain. This is a half an hour long meta, and there's a prisoner there. I'm gonna waypoint where is the waypoint? Here, it's here. Crap. Or do I not have the waypoint in this character? Shit. Alright, we're gonna... And again, can I just remind people who are playing this with us, apparently CCs are really important. Here, speaking of the Griffin, I'll pick one up. Give me a Griffin. Thank you. Is this NA or EU? This is NA because yesterday's stream was EU. It will show on the map, people are saying. Oh, we already got a bit of progress. It's all about CC. No CC equals no win. Okay, so for newbies who might be listening, that's CC stands for crowd control. It's kind of an anachronistic term, actually, I believe, in this point. But and the game itself is fearful of using it, as far as I'm aware. But we're talking about stuns, blowouts, knockdowns, launches. Some conditions also provide damage over time to break bars, such as immobilization, chill, cripple, incapacitating effects is what we're talking about. If we had the tree system, they could make the Griffin a hyper-specialized mount where you won't have access to other things than the Griffin if you've only mastered that way. There's all kinds of weird questions, though, that come up with that, like, Guild Wars is a game where you instantly are able to respec everything, so isn't it self-defeating because people just break combat and then specialize in the next thing, and then it's just busy work in the UI? Or are we saying in order to respec you need to rebuild experience to do that? And that's an interesting idea, because it keeps experience meaningful without having to resort to broken currencies like spirit shards, and experience are already fundamental to the mastery system. So, you know, there's stuff for sure, but I don't actually use the Griffin that much. For most general traveling, especially the core maps, I end up using the other mounts. For me, the Griffin ended up being a special thing where I started climbing as high as possible in these core areas of the Springer to fly. I've also realized that even in Corteria maps, I use less waypoints and travel on my mounts. Yeah, I've heard that discussion a few times also, and that's nice to hear. I'm pessimistic that it's that it will last, because I actually think that once the novelty of it's run out, we'll just find ourselves waypointing a lot. I'm just gonna stay back here. We'll CC this guy. Maybe I should run a mower instead of Jaunt. Can I get Lieutenant to mark stuff? This won't happen without organization. All right, man. I just got to find you. Can you move yourself to subgroup 2 so that I can find you easily? We'll say the Griffin is hard to fly, and I wish it was easier to keep in the air so I can enjoy looking down at the beauty while I am in the air. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. That's a discussion point I've never heard. That it's too clunky, basically? That the Griffin could be better? That it needs more quality of life? I'm really excited to get it and use and play the adventures. I'm there, WP. Okay, cool. Appoint Lieutenant. There you go. So we're going to get map markers now, which will be nice. Is this moving? High-ranking branded slain. We're halfway there. Zealots defeated 1 out of 5. So what else we got going on? I'm going to go towards that waypoint now as well, because I really think it's worth having. They could do the tree thing and have reset for spirit shards. It was a 1 versus 1 abilities, but I think that's just extra busy work. People are already scared to retrait things and change skills. This just gives me bad memories of attribute point refunds. Yeah. I think in a lot of ways it's not that kind of game anymore. Or not that kind of franchise anymore, sorry. Further south. It's up here, isn't it? Somewhere up there. You really don't need to respec every minute. Design the train to get people with different masteries to collaborate. Well, see, so what you're talking about there was something that Heart of Thorns did very well with its implementation of the mastery system that I really liked. And that was like that decision of what do I go for first. I've talked about enjoying that a lot, but you know, that really presented this thing where when Heart of Thorns came out, some people were training with the Itzel, and so they had, you know, their mushrooms faster and they could bounce around. Some people went crazy with the glider faster, so they could use lean techniques and get updrafts and get ley lines and stuff. It was very short-lived because Guild Wars doesn't ask people to, you know, it's never really done well with long-term progression mechanics. So it was very short-lived. But all that said, it's, you know, that was a nice component of it, I think. And you did get people a very slight feeling of, oh, this guy specialized with this, so he can do this. And this guy specialized with this, so he can do this. And fortunately, this one specialized in the third way, but he's a mesmer, so he can portal us and we can bypass it, you know. And there was that kind of... And I think that's good as well. When we talk about the MMO needing to... finally, the MMO needing to... have these kind of social components, encourage people to interact with one another more. I think that was the perfect, you know, that hits the nail on the head, even if it was very short-lived. Obviously, Path of Fire didn't do it at all because we just go one mount next. There are a few niche situations with masteries. Like, I actually think, what do you guys think about this? Imagine when Path of Fire started in that instance with the Raptor, right? Imagine when we save that farm. In the opening instance, we save the farm, and the farmer says, oh, thank you so much. Listen, I specialize in a variety of desert creatures. I can give you one, but only one. Which do you want? And a checkbox comes up, and you get to choose Raptor, Jackal, Skimmer, Springer. Now, the fact that in lore, this is a bit weird or whatever, that would have had to have been changed. But imagine a Path of Fire where at the start, we choose our first mount. And then when we get our next mount, we choose which one we do. So you actually, and now when you're running around in Amnoon, imagine stuff like, for example, those first Amnoon races. And you'd have people who picked the Raptor feeling, who would do better in that race, obviously. And then there'd be the people on the skimmers and stuff, and the people who chose the skimmer would get that mastery point, but other people wouldn't be able to, and people that picked the jackal might... I think that's what's beautiful about the mastery system, and that's what's cool. It's socially cool, and that's where an MMO thrives. But we got railroaded into a very specific ordering, and I don't think that was the right way to do it. I think having a choice, actually, would have been better. Right. We're in the middle of the meta, and as always, I've got my head up my arse, and I'm going slowly. So let's go on the skimmer and go south. Yes, and this 7-Pip Brian says, but they'd have to redesign the maps. Obviously. Obviously. The story would be written differently. Lots of things would be done differently. But I'm saying as a fundamental, as a point to start with. Yeah? I'm not saying it's something they can change now, and they can change only that, and now the game works perfectly. I'm saying that when you take it back to the fundamentals, which would have been better? Which would have been better to design around, to spiral the expansion maps and stuff off of the understanding of? You liked the Springer situation? It didn't feel like we were gated, it felt natural? See, I like feeling gated. And I think I did feel gated by the Springer. I spent a long time in that second map without the high jump, and it was good. I liked it, and I felt really rewarded when I got the high jump, and I liked feeling gated as many times as I did, and then getting past it. Tipsy Seraph says next will just be an underwater expansion. There'll be no gliding and no mounts, and the problem is solved. I like it, dude. Oh, I need to remember to put Moa on. I'll res this person as well. So why are the CCs important? Is it because he drains life and you need to CC? It's a bit like trying to fight those Mordrum. You remember the Mordrum guys? Oh, so it's very frequent CC as well. That I like to see. I'm actually getting really chunked. What is chunking me? Well, spam and evades. I'm out of range here as well. There's a second phase. Oh, okay. WP, honestly, I prefer more MMO mechanics rather than more RPG ones. What's the distinction between an RPG mechanic and an MMO mechanic? What do you think? The CC part's coming next. Right, okay. Flaganti says, I got to the Griffin without high jump or jackal paws, so I didn't feel gated. Oh, really? Springer high jump felt like the most gated one. Very rarely were you gated after the high jump was unlocked. Yeah, absolutely. And I showed off a stream recently as well where there was a really good moment where a skimmer gate should have existed and it didn't. These things do move. Wow, I didn't realize that. So we got a circle and a heart, B-boys just dropped. So where are they? Oh, all the way up there. Look, now we get the benefit of having unlocked that waypoint. We're going to need to split the Zerg into 5 little groups and CC often and hard. Take every CC our profession offers. Every single CC our profession offers. Really? Were there any good Mirage CCs that they added? Not really. There wasn't much CC. I mean, I think this is pretty good. Pistol 5, Focus 4, Signet, Moa. I think I've got a lot. I could take the Signet trait. Does that drop our cooldowns on Signets? Don't remember. PvP or world versus world map underwater would be funsies. At least the thought of it. Oh, the Day's Mantra. That's a good point. Yeah, I could run that. Shit. The Sword Ambush. 0 recharge CC. Isn't that just like a quarter of a second daze, though? That's not a strong one. It's not a stun, is it? People are saying it's great. Infinite Horizons, 3 sword clones, spamming endurance. That sounds pretty good, actually. I've not seen this, so I'm not going to go as crazy as I think a lot of you are going to want me to. So here's a question. When I mount, do I lose my mantra? No, good. Good on them. Nice. Well done. Oh, so he set up different subgroups. Look at B-Boy. Look at this. Good job, B-Boy. So, 6 subgroups. I'm in subgroup 2. And he said subgroup 2, which includes UWP, goes to Arrow. Don't worry, I'm not a fool. So there's a star. Where's the arrow? Oh, Arrow. I'm right next to Arrow. Oh, nice. Okay. Cool. I wonder if he did that just so that I was sure to do it. Sword ambush carries Mirage, does it? All disables less than 1 second count the same as 1 second of break bar damage. Oh, do they? Do they? I thought that was changed. Wow, I kind of want to do it. I'm going to run Infinite Horizon Sword. Shit. Oh, this is annoying. That sounds really fun. So, Infinite Horizons. Not axe. Sword main hands. We'll run like this, I guess. But, and I guess I'll run mirror images as well, just to be sure, because I expect they'll get cleaved pretty hard. And then... I don't know, hope there's a Tempest pumping Vigor on regen out or something. Endurance on Vigor. Changing skills during this meta is a pain. There's only one more Zealot left alive. More utilities that trigger Mirage Cloak. Yeah, what's the new Mirage heal? Does that trigger another Mirage Cloak? What's better, Mirror Image or... I mean, this is a lot of CC, guys. Let's see. Create a Mirage at your current location and heal. When the Mirage expires, it does spawn a mirror. Okay, we'll do that. You still have the Axe trait. Oh, yeah, good point. Illusion Shattered, give mirrors. I don't think that's worth it though. I'll just go Protection. And those don't really help either. We could run Fencer's Finesse now. Oh, I could run Deceptive Evasion to refresh my things. Use the broken elite skill. Not. Oh, wait. No, but this doesn't drop a mirror. Wasn't there a thing that lets you drop a mirror? Illusion Shattered. Oh, here we go. Using a deception skill will create a clone if you have any illusions active. So do we want to do this? And then we get a clone every time we jaunt. What, is there an ICD on that? No, we get a clone every time we jaunt, which frees this up so that we can do... Oh, I feel like Moe is going to be better. Distortion triggers Mirage Mirror Cloak and Signets give distortion. Yeah, but I think that's F4 only, as someone just said. Look, I think this is getting a bit weird now, so I'm gonna leave it as I thought. I'm gonna put Moa on. Moa's not bad by any stretch. So we'll just run it like this, and yes, I know that there's a thing, but I think a 3-second... Oh, okay, no. So a 3-second stun on a 45-second cooldown, or Crystal Sands, which is 3 ambushes every 20 seconds. I think that's better. Okay, here we go. The Zealots have regrouped at the Grand Court. Defeat them. Is this him? No? So we can get off our skimmers now, right? Who do I fight? Oh, he's this guy here, is he? Oh, this is really weird. This is really weird. I like it, though. I like it a lot. More clones. Oh, it's good. Look, every time I get the mirror, do you see it actually proper chunks it down? Watch, 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 watch. Ready? Oh, I already messed I already messed the mantra up. That was silly. I'll pulse it. Oh, hold CC. Rip. Do we really want to hold CC? CC now. I don't know what this is all about right now, but we're going to try it like this. So ambush. Ambush again. Use the 5. Ambush again. Ambush again. Swap. Focus 4. Ambush again. Oh, this is nice. Oh, well, actually, I don't know. It's, as always in open world, it's kind of tough to tell. I need to remember to use Blurred Frenzy as well. I'm on Condi gear anyway, so it doesn't really matter. There you go. So now we'll save our endurance. Oh, wow. Yeah, his bar does come up. So is he immune to damage unless the CCs are in place? Every time you see my camera jump a bit, that's 4 dazes hitting the foe. Oh, I need to remember. I'm using my offhands poorly. I could be doing a lot better than this. How are we doing compared to everyone else? I want to feel like we're doing better. So we'll save, we'll save, we'll save. We'll weapon swap again here. Okay, so we'll pop that. And then we'll pop that. And then we'll pop it again. And then this. They're saying hold. Hold till he says. Oh, okay. So we've got to do it all at once, have we? Alright, I'm waiting with my CC then. I'm waiting. Apparently we want to wait. Let's go back to the pistol here. How do you even do this event? Why are they so tanky? I think you got to break. Alright, he said CC now. So go, 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 go. Oh, look at this, guys. Nice. We proper chunked it down. There you go. So I think everyone across all of them needs to CC all at once. You see that? The crystal in the middle. This group over here, I think, failed. So you see these laser beams? And we did ours too early, right? So now all the others are off. This is like the Thornheart thing. I like this. I like this coordination. This is cool. So basically, B-Boy's waiting for all the lasers to reestablish. And then we all have to CC all at once. So that all the lasers turn off at once. This bar is going low as well. I don't know if that's a health bar. And when that gets to 0, we're fucked. And it's game over. I'm going to mow her there. Did he call for the CCs yet? I hope he did. This group here is very slow on the CC, so I think that group over there might unfortunately... Yeah, they couldn't be stopped. I think we had to get the timing right. I understand how that works now, but it feels like this group here at the Grand Court itself, they were struggling. So, the thing in the middle got exploded. That's really interesting, though. I don't know what our health was like. I see, though. You'll be amazed how cool the rewards are for this event after you finish it. Time well spent, no one said. Oh, wrong. Timing doesn't matter. Oh, the timing doesn't matter. Oh, so I could have just kept going. That was a fun build, though. I liked playing that build. I wonder how effective it genuinely was. Man, it's eerily silent as well, isn't it? Listen to that. Each Forgotten is doing individual. When I completed this, we just kept rolling the CC bar each time it was up instead of timing it. No timing is needed, just CC and kill. So why was B-Boy calling for timing, I wonder then? To be honest, I've had success with just really high DPS after the first CC, says Lucia. Well, that's a shame because I sacrificed all my DPS for CC. Like, what I actually had was kind of awful. When I completed this, yeah. All right. Well, that's cool. And, you know, well, that's a failure. That is a failure. But I think we've learned something there. And on an upcoming stream, we can try that again. I think that was awesome. I like mares like this. That's cool. I like failing. Thank you for designing something in the open world where I haven't face rolled it. Thank you. I now have a challenge. I have something to motivate me. That's cool. I like that. You can run ineptitude for blinds. In open world, I don't think that that's going to be too important. But yeah, that would be a thing, I guess. Yeah, the pistol Condi setup doesn't matter though, because I had all sword clones so that we could proc really fast ambushes. Oh, he wanted you to kill all of the Forgotten at the same time because not only is the break bar thing going on, but when you kill all the Forgotten, the other ones get stronger. Ah, so it's like the Awakened in that way, right? You remember when we were claiming the guild hall? I see. Royal says, this is the first time I failed this. I'm blaming the devs. Ha! In before a nerf on Tuesday? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. See, my perspective on stuff like this is it doesn't need to be easier. Don't destroy the coordination. Don't destroy what is an interesting, nuanced experience. Buff the rewards. That's my answer to it. It's not homogenize everything by making it all face roll easy to justify shit rewards. Don't tackle it from that end. Tackle it from the other end. Make it rewarding. Make having an interesting experience a rewarding experience to go for. The Source 667 says, oops, I did it again. By the way, yesterday, oh god, I'm forgetting the name. Yesterday, someone got their 12 months, and I missed you getting your 12 months, and I just wanted to say you're a legend. All right, let's close the lottery then. So the eventual reward has been 5,000. Flaganti, can you just confirm to me, please, that you are ready and waiting? You've got your finger on the button. And I will close the lottery and we will roll. We will see who wins. So yeah, we're going to give away 5,397 ectos here. It's probably too late to join now, guys. I'm about to close it. I'm just waiting for confirmation from Vaganti that everything's good on his end. And then we can get rolling with it. Joe Bum. Yes, it was you, Joe Bum. It was you at 12 months. Dude, congrats, man. Oh, and the Guild Hall upgrade. Yeah, I'll do that while waiting for Flaganti. Why am I... What? Jesus. See, this, I think, should not be happening in 2017. They don't put many waypoints in the maps anymore. So can we remember, please, when we add waypoints to the game, to not have enemy spawns on them? Please, thank you. There is someone still not in the back end that was not entered in, imported into. I don't know what... There is someone still not in the back end that was not entered into the back end, imported into. Right, so you're saying it's still not fully updated with everyone. So we can't draw. Alright, well, listen, I'll give it until this Guild Hall upgrade's done. Flaganti, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do this Guild Hall upgrade, and if by the time this upgrade is done on the stream, that's not been fixed, we'll... And this is sad to do, because we've never had to do this with the lottery before. We will close the lottery, but off stream. When it's fixed and when it's ready, yeah? So if you guys can sort that out in the next 10 to 15, cool, and we'll do it here. If not, then unfortunately we'll have to close it down. Ewendor says, I think people complaining about the Griffin fundamentally misunderstand it. It doesn't break exploration the way that gliding doesn't. Who in their right mind believes swooping to an area in 2 seconds counts for playing a map? Not to mention that getting to good griffing spots is difficult and easy to design away. You can get every waypoint in Queensdale in 3 minutes with the Griffin, but you still have to have seen literally nothing of what the map has to offer. I'm not sure I understand your argument there. It seems like you're giving both sides at once, and maybe that's what you want to do. Because I guess the fear would be people think they're done with the game when they're not, and that's already a huge problem with Guild Wars 2. In that there's all these beautiful events and hidden dialogue and ambient things going on, but people skip past them because they get tunnel vision and they just glide everywhere and they skip routes and they don't understand proper map flow anymore and all of that. And the fear with the Griffin, if there is one, is that that will happen even worse now. People will just glide around in 3 minutes, get all the waypoints, think that they're done and move on. And their motivation to have a proper experience is much less now. So you say that, but then you're also saying, so I don't know, where on the line you fall. I like both sides at once, says Inks. He entered, but he still wasn't imported into the back end. I understand that. I'm just saying if it's not resolved by the end of the stream, then we'll do it off stream. I'll talk to you later about it, as I know why it does this. It updates slowly, so I'd like for him to still get entered. Okay, guys, so Flaganti there has made the decision. We're going to do the lottery giveaway, and hopefully that will still happen within the next 24 hours, but unfortunately it's not going to be streamed. At the worst case, it will be delayed until tomorrow, in which case you'll see it on tomorrow's stream, but we'll see. Oh, wrong place. So this is the tavern, and we've got all of these. We are going to do the mine upgrade. Don't be mean, Vazzy. Don't be rude to people in chat. Don't ask someone if they have brain damage and swear at them. Unless they're a good friend of yours and they know that your tone is just for funsies and it's not a big deal. Let's not be dimwits. Did they nerf the Griffin? The height you can gain above the height you started from seems decreased or decapped. Well, I heard someone say that you could gain height from it. And I saw a video. So maybe they didn't like that idea and they nerfed that. But I don't know. It was certainly at odds with what they talked about on the stream. So, mine. It's all I mean, look. It's a mine in the ground. What do you think I mean? Okay, what upgrades are available? And she has Ethereum capacity 1. So we got some Elderwood planks. We got some Mithril ingots. We got some Bloodstone bricks. And we got some Minor runes of holding. This is going to cost us 500 Ethereum, which is our current maximum amount. 50 favor, which we've got tons of. Okay. And we're going to buy this. So this is going to increase our capacity. So we've basically our storage is full of rocks right now. And when we buy this, we're going to lose all of our rocks. We're going to go back to 0. But the next time we hit 500, we'll be able to keep going even higher. And what this does is it means we can start getting better things. Things that cost 1,000 rocks and more. So there you go. Ethereum capacity 1. Lovely. And next we'll be getting increased mining rate. We'll hire some new people. For that we need some ley line infused tools, some shovels, some thermocatalytic reagent. I love saying that. And crystalline dust. So we will be working on that. We also need to be level 5 in the guild for that. So there'll be some other upgrades to get. We can also look at getting a new building very soon. So there you go, guys. Increased mining storage capacity. Oh, God. Flaganti's asking me to do weird technical stuff now. Oh, dude. I don't like this. I don't like doing this on stream. Okay. He's telling me to... Because this isn't entertaining. I don't like this. Go. Okay. Then go to... Back end. Then go to the import tab. Okay. Then from the import tab, copy paste the whole thing in A1 and it should forcibly update the entries. A1. Copy, paste. Okay, I copied and pasted. Tell me if that worked. Maestron says the workshop should be available now. Oh yeah, the new NPC should be going there, right? Let's go have a look. Oh, we can't get through the door. Let's go back around. The entrance to this mine is really weird, and like the design here is so odd. I don't think I've ever seen the devs so comfortably. You know, do you remember yesterday I was talking about that big ugly wall in the Ellen Riverlands next to Augury Rock? You know, if they did this, if they were happy to do this at the Guildhall, why weren't they happy to do it in the Ellen Riverlands? What do you guys think? Is this okay to you? I know some people hate invisible walls. This is okay to me. I don't really mind. What do you all think about this? What if the northern boundary of the Ellen Riverlands was this instead? What are our thoughts? Do we hate this? Or do we like what it offers the aesthetic of the hall? And this feeling that there's a big sprawling desert out there? Alright, the fact that I'm stuck in the ground right now, ignored. What do we think? Okay, so Flaganti, you're saying yes, it's done. Does that mean I can now do the lottery drawing? What's going on, man? I'm stuck on the wrong side of an invisible wall now. Okay, aside from these weird mechanical issues. What? I got clipped into the ground, so now I'm on the wrong side of the wall. Oh, okay, now I'm back. Never mind. Okay, that's a bit weird. Sorry, everybody who's stuck over there. Hotfix, buffer rewards for core game events that no one joins. Imagine an escort event that kept failing and the NPC would offer higher gold. Yeah, I've always loved that, dude. All gigantic walls in the game piss me off, to be honest. Piss you off? All right, we can draw. Okay, cool. So now we can finish the lottery. All right. So here we go. Drum roll, guys. Who's going to win the ectoplasmaze? So I'm going to close the lottery. It's closed. Well, we're running the script to close it. So let's just give some stats out. The prize pool is 5,397 ectoplasm. Third place is going to be winning 539 of them. Second place is going to be winning 1,079 of them. And first place is going to win 3,777. Okay? A total of 6,350 tickets were bought. I think that's how it works. So there we go. Drawing the winners. We're drawing third place winner is... The winner of 539 ectos is Nekasi5318. Congratulations to Nekasi5318. Congratulations to you, and everybody give you a massive round of applause. So there you go. Woo! Woo, Nekasi. Over 2 stacks of ectos right there. Delicious. Enjoy those globby globs. Next, we have someone winning over 1,000 ectos. So, drum roll. Nagaroth 1785. Nagaroth 1785. Owner of Ticket 2097. Wow. Ticket 2097. That was quite... Oh, no, it wasn't really a very long one. But there you go. Congratulations to Ticket Owner 2097. You have won over 1,000 ectos. That's over 4 stacks. Now, for the grand prize winner, guys. The grand prize winner of the 7th or 8th Spud Ecto Lottery. Now, the winner of this was owner of Ticket 371. Which is amazing, by the way, because the third place winner had Ticket 365. So, that was a winner, and now, just a couple of tickets later, the first place winner is coming in. So, the winner of 3,777 ectos is... Tinksy7452. Tinksy7452. I hope you're very excited about that. That's incredible. I believe I can see gold amount. I think that's about 1,000 gold you just won there. So congratulations for 1,000 gold there. Tinksy says that's me. That's not you, is it, Tinksy? You're not Tinksy. You're Copper, aren't you? Maybe that was a joke, because it sounds like Inks. Rigged Inks one. Anyway. Copper, Cooper, I can't remember which. Anyway. Congratulations, everybody. That's badass. I didn't even participate, but I should have won, says Ignite. So, guys, you can get in on the next lottery. You're guaranteed to win, like, several thousand. You don't have to be at the stream when it's given away. If you join the next lottery right here, right now, because now we're going to roll a new one, then go for it, and you just might find in a month or so when you forgot that Wooden Potato streams, you forgot X, Y, and Z. It doesn't matter. You can get that prize pool. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks very much to everyone who participated in that. It is sad if the lotteries don't get a lot of attention, but, you know, a 5,397 prize pool is pretty damn good. So thank you, everybody. Enjoy, and I'll be back tomorrow for... Now that we've done, for another attempt at this meta, but also adventures. I want to go through and stream all of the adventures of Path of Fire 2. Still plenty more to come up. Still plenty more to play and have fun with. And I hope to see you all there. Same time. Well, sort of the same time. This was an extra length stream because I'm being lazy and stuff. So I hope you guys appreciate this extra length stream. What else can I plug? Yeah, if you guys are feeling generous or something, don't forget I do have a Patreon. And I've been trying to improve Patreon a lot lately and help people out with it and stuff. So... if you guys want to check that out, there should be a link in chat. It does mean the world to me. And if I get just one new person a day, that's pretty badass. That's sort of my aim. I'm hoping for anyway. Not that I can get that. But anyway, there you go, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Good chat today, guys.